Grammarly's proactive automatic writing want to tell Grammarly how to help. As you write, you can click Grammarly here to get on-demand generative AI assistance. You can compose writing from scratch by typing
Welcome back, everybody, to Futsal News Live. It's a watch party.
Live and direct.
Yes, let's do it. It's the NFPL Final. You know, we don't get to do these for FCS because we're in it. So we're going to do it for this and enjoy some American futsal together. For the first time ever, we see a Midwest team traveling to the Southwest. So we'll see how this goes for them. Definitely going to be a challenge. But I think they're getting ready to do walkouts.
Yeah.
Quality on the stream's not great, but we'll do our best to play along with you guys and keep up to date with what's going on in the game. So welcome. If you guys are looking for somebody to watch the game with, that's us. If you're looking for the game itself, we are not stealing that content from NFPL. So you'll have to go to their stream to watch that. If you don't have two screens to do this, I get it. Don't worry about it.
We could post that link in chat.
We could. Let me do that. I'm right there.
Cool.
And paste. Boom. Actually, can I edit this? Let me delete that and actually put a note in it so people know what it is. All right, let's try that again. How many years have I been doing this? Holy moly.
Luckily, we run the most professional stream on Earth.
And I have the nerve to tell people they're doing it right or wrong. Isn't that something? I see some people trickling in. Thanks for coming in. Sound off in the chat. Let us know who you think's gonna win.
Well, question right back at you, Jake. Who do you think is gonna win?
I think Bruce is gonna win.
Really?
Yes. I think that the NFPL is in a very bizarre season this season, and the way things are shaped and the teams that were involved. Futsal Factory had a very weak schedule. I think this was a no-brainer that they'd be the ones to make the trip to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And Brusa is in the Southwest, which is always just a dogfight every single game. So they're going to be a lot more sharp, I think. What about you? What do you think?
You know, coming into this, I had Futsal Factory tipped.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I've seen some good things from Thomas Dono. I still like my boy Robert Dameron. You know, there's some young kids and young talent on the team I saw. Even though they weren't going up against really stiff competition, I liked what I saw from Futsal Factory. And, you know, every single year, they always came out as one of the last teams at the finals. But you know, Grand Rapids Olay isn't in this anymore, so you know they're no longer there. But my pick is Futsal Factory. I just don't think Brusa has the legs to take them on. I think Futsal Factory is more talented. That's just an opinion. I have no proof, but
no, I like that. That's a different take. I like it. It's going to mean that we got something on the line a little bit now. So
right.
So I just admittedly have not watched much of the Midwest either because I was predisposed taking care of our own league. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what the travel does. This is kind of unprecedented for a Midwest team to have to travel this far. Be out of a time zone.
This is the furthest they've traveled, isn't it?
It has to be. Yeah, I can't picture them. You know what's crazy? So I was like checking to make sure we got the time right and everything with the Arizona time versus Eastern time versus Mountain time. And the city of Phoenix like popped up in my Google search, and they have the same eagle logo as Futsal Factory for the city of Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, fun fact. It's purple, but it's the exact same eagle without the soccer ball.
That's funny.
I don't know if they're pulling from the same clip art file or if that's I don't know.
Fun. Well, here's an even more fun fact. They're not even in Phoenix. They're in Chandler, Arizona.
Where's Chandler compared to Phoenix?
I mean, it's kind of like saying, you're in Orange County, you're in LA. It's all kind of one big conglomerate.
Is it? Okay. All right.
But they're not
it's
in
home proper downtown and everything, though, it looks like, too. Huh? Yeah, it's south of Mesa. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, and Chandler down the highway. Wow, that's
Tempe
interesting. I never looked that up.
That's pretty far. That
really
is
far from
actually
Phoenix.
not Phoenix.
Yeah, never mind. I just Googled. To be fair, I Googled Phoenix.
when you're like that, when you're like that, you claim the big city because I was out there for the FCS championship and I went to Grand Rapids and I swung by and grabbed some gear from Fabian at his house and then
sweet.
I was like I really want to get I want to see how big MSA Sports Spot is, so I put it in the GPS and I head over there and I was like, whoa, it's really big. That was cool. But then I was like, well, let's go see downtown Grand Rapids. So I went to Grand Rapids and I was like, we're like 20 minutes outside Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's actually it's so I've done the same as you, kind of in a different way, Luke. So I went up and watched at Sports Spot a few years ago. This would have been right after we started talking on that notorious chat that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Hector, hey, good to see you in the chat, man. Cheers to you. Welcome in.
What's up, Hector?
Thanks for joining us, man.
My overlay is not working.
I did the same thing, and then a couple years later, my family, we went to Saugatuck, Michigan, which is about an hour south of Grand Rapids on Lake Michigan. And my wife's a beach girl, and we really wanted my daughter to kind of have a beach vacation to kind of experience it. And that was a very drivable way to not have to like actually get on a plane with a child. So we drove to Lake Michigan. Beautiful. She thought she was at the beach, so it was good. And we drove an hour up to proper downtown Grand Rapids and had dinner with Rudy, and that was a ton of fun. But it was like, oh wow, this is actual Grand Rapids.
Right.
Didn't realize how far off I was. David, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're representing Gloom. Luke's got his hat.
Check it out.
Sweet hat.
I told you I'd wear it on.
Really nice. I'm wearing my San Lorenzo colors, so I'm unaffiliated with any America stuff right now, and San Lorenzo is sucking right now. So but I'm not a fair weather guy. I'm sticking with them. So I wish they would step it up a little bit, but there's been some big changes at the club, so they're in a transition period.
Pardon my dust for 1 second.
Pardon my dust. All right, so we got
there we go. Okay, I got it working.
What do you got working?
The feature chat. See how if you
nice.
seen the same.
Hey, yes, new model.
That's right.
XC new model.
I've been wearing it. I've been wearing it everywhere, and the best place I ever wore it was to play futsal in.
Oh yeah? I saw
fun.
You did pickup the other day. How'd it go?
It's good, man. I love playing. The body's holding up better than I thought it would.
Yeah?
Usually it feels like I got run over by a car.
That's me right now. I had to spray some biofreeze on before the stream. I do it to pick up as well in lovely Akron, Ohio. So
yes, good stuff.
I'm ready to play outside on our outdoor court. It's small, but it's more fun because you're outside and it's fresh air. But this time of year, it's good to have the gym as an option because it was pouring down rain here yesterday.
Oh man, we played in the rain Friday night, and my buddy, I watched him just go, "Let's get in here." He's like, he slips just straight to his back, and I was like,
"Ooh, you hate to see it."
I saw the second time I saw him do it, he did it twice, and I was like, "I'm done." I was like, "I'm out. Goodbye."
That happened to us last year. We had a summer storm, and it was literally the size of the park we were in, and this little cloud just kind of rolls in, stops, rains, and won't move. And we pulled it's a really weird setup there. The way that like there's this I'm not going to do a good job describing this to you guys, and this has nothing to do with what our stream's about, but like it's by a school, an old elementary school in the city we were playing in, and it's like the school's up on a hill, but it's L-shaped. So if you're looking at it aerial view like this, our court is here, and this is on like solid ground, but this is like on stilts. So this is all like on this side of the L is all like under cover of the building. Yeah. And so we literally pulled the goals under the building and played around poles. Like the poles were just defenders. Like we were so desperate to play, and we're like, we're not going home. We're just. But it was fun. It was a really good time. It was absolute chaos, but it was good for a night. I'm surprised no one got killed, but it was good.
So it looks like our stream is struggling.
Yeah, this is not looking good. Looks like they're on Wi-Fi. Good crowd.
Yeah.
Pretty good crowd. That's probably a few hundred people, right?
It gets loud there. The fans love to rush the floor on a goal, so you guys will see some good fan involvement over there.
I wonder if the referees will put a kibosh on that like they tried to at the very end of the last game that was there. Like,
hopefully not, man.
I missed a semifinal game here. Was it good? Did you watch it?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was contested, but I think Bruce ended up kind of coming out on top. I think it got a little sloppy with fouls and cards.
I remember you saying there's a couple reds, right? A couple red cards.
So this court's sitting at what, like about 110, 120 maybe?
Yeah, I'd say about between 110, 120 from the looks of it. Yeah. It looks so that's literally just short. I mean, very well within regulation, but just short of like the traditional 40 by 20 that we see referenced all the time.
Right.
But yeah, this is a good size court. I like this. I like this place. This is a cool gym.
I noticed that the internet was cleaner at their other facility when they first started in the league, but this is a nice facility as well.
It was kind of like how things went at Grand Rapids, where the beginning was a little choppy, and then once they got in a groove and figured it out, they had a really, really nice program there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Is that Cole Russell I see on the court at 6? It sure looks like him to me. Oh, and we lost our feed. Oh, no. No, that is not Cole.
Commentator calling him out on their production. He must be remote.
Well.
And that's a shame. That is a shame. You know, we get a behind the scenes look at our own league, so we know the good and the bad, and we certainly have moments. Yeah. We had moments in the final where we struggled with technology, but we styled them out very well. Compliments to this guy. Yeah, right? Did I point?
No, the other way.
Right, this way?
Yeah.
This way? Brady Bunch, hello, down here. Anyway, we're joking a lot, but I mean, this stuff happens. But I mean, at the same time, this is a final. Someone should be there to help support the people on the camera. This is your big game of the year. This is your crowning moment.
And yeah, just like you said, I've heard things about, and I've dealt with clubs that are like, hey man, we do soccer, we do futsal, and I get it. But at the same time, if you're focused on growing not only your club but the sport for your club, because you want the sport to grow for your club. I'm not sure what happened. Did you see that, Jay?
I think that was a big save.
Okay.
Because I saw what's that guy's name? I think it's Wilson. Is it Jared Wilson?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Another big save from him there. He's good. He's good keep.
But if you're focused on growing your sport, man, you got to show it off. And this is not showing it off. This is hard.
Yeah, this is tough. Well, and I've noticed with their second camera, they pretty much got it directly underneath where the main camera is, so it's really not a very good shot. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
add anything to the stream. I'd like to see that one kind of in either the opposite side, with somebody on it,
Yeah,
or
it's interesting
or
that
on the move. I can see it's an iPad. I can see him messing with it now from camera
Yeah.
one.
Well, the purpose usually of second cam is to get that tighter shot to
Yeah.
help us get into the game and get faces and emotions. And if it's just another wide shot, it's kind of like,
Like something like this, like a set piece, cut to it, or catching a goal celebration, really.
mm-hmm.
4 votes so far in the chat. It's split 50-50. Another good kick save there by Jared.
Interesting. We don't see Ducks in the starting lineup. I'm kind of surprised. There's Cole right there coming on number 7. I should have known he was rocking number 7. There's our boy Cole.
Cole's probably looking to get some minutes after he kind of got robbed of some time because of a concussion in the FCS. He didn't get to participate in that final because he had a concussion. Yeah, I think when they played Imperial, he got a concussion and played anyway. Remember when they had those two? It was that last game, Luke, that for Imperial and Midwest for their season. And great save for Robert.
He's playing with Futsal Factory and Midwest.
Yeah, he plays for Midwest as well. So, which
yeah,
is interesting because
he went up against the wall in Detroit, didn't he?
Yeah, and he played anyway. And I kind of like only half joking because I like Cole and I hope he's okay. But I was half joking, like maybe that's why I missed that PK so bad later in the game. Is I think he was concussed.
I think so too.
I'm fairly certain, and he played anyway against recommendation from people in the building. And then he was out after that. So if you guys remember when Midwest played Lansing, so that was Midwest's second to last game when they played Detroit. Then they ended their season against Lansing. He ended up coaching because Gio had gotten into a fender bender, and
that's right.
Cole lives in Lansing, so he came to be the coach.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then he missed the playoffs. So it must have been a serious concussion.
Yeah, with concussions, I used to not understand it. I did, I went through protocol training and all that, and I coached, and then I would take it seriously with my kids, that I coached, and I pull them off and, do the necessary protocols. But I never really got it until my daughter suffered a concussion, and it was the worst thing.
Ooh, yeah.
All the way around, man.
Knock on wood, I've not had one. So
because she deals with anxiety, and the key to anxiety is to get out and move around and get exercise, and she can't exercise while she's concussed, and so not doing that makes her anxiety better or worse, and then she would have to stay in from recess. And then she couldn't do PE, she couldn't do soccer. She was like, it was just like this vicious circle round and round and round, and she'd come home crying. It was so bad.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. And then the coach started doubting whether or not she was really concussed and side-eyeing her, and I was just like, oh, come on, man.
That's
yeah. But like I said,
the second camera's down, or blurry, I should say.
That's a goal.
There's the kids.
There they come.
And the vuvuzelas. I think I saw Bruce advertising this week that for so many kids that came in would get a horn. So, and we got a timeout for somebody. It looks like clock running. What does that mean? So I wonder if Kayleen's working the camera and she can't do the scoreboard.
Probably.
Man, that's a real shame.
Well, I mean, Take a look at that crowd over there. There's obviously a plethora of people interested in Barusa FC. Parents, kids. To me, it's, I don't know.
Kind of inexcusable. More than kind of. I mean, you gotta be ready for this kind of stuff. You're hosting the final. I know how important this was to Coway to host this.
Right.
So you gotta, now that it's there, you kind of gotta show it with your action.
Right.
And how you manage the day. I don't know what kind of league support was provided as well. You know, that's kind of the difference, I think, too, between NFPL and FCS is FCS kind of has their own dedicated production team.
Right.
So that requires less volunteers, but it still requires volunteers. We still ask the local teams, hey, we need people to do ABC.
Yeah.
This is where we need help. And so that's part of it.
If you're
Hope
watching,
everyone's doing well in the chat. Thanks for watching along with us.
Yeah, if you're watching and you're a futsal connoisseur, what's interesting to me is that Barusa plays that traditional pivot up top, and you'll see not a lot of people running that anymore. Did you notice that? Barusa will play Coway up top, and he'll play that big man role, and he'll really like get in strong down low. And I don't see a lot of futsal teams doing that much anymore.
Interesting. I'm going to pay a little closer attention to that. I think you're right, though.
I just don't think anybody has.
Target.
Yeah, I don't think people have the personnel to run that. You have to have like a pretty special big guy up there with good feet.
Yeah.
Dare I say Zikite?
Hey, Zicky's such a legend, dude.
I saw a highlight of him just the other day.
Man, he is a highlight machine.
He is.
That's a play I run and pick up all the time. What they just did is, you know, if you're in a pivot position or even if you're the opposite ala from the strong side of the court to like run deep into a corner and be there for a long ball. And then the idea is if the long ball opportunity is not there, you run back, you check back to the middle of the court.
Yep.
And in theory, you should either lose a defender there or find open space in the process for a quick one too. You either get an easy shot.
Brian.
Is this a goal? No, just outside. Wow, that's a great little run of play there from Barusa. Going foul against Futsal Factory too. That's a good call.
What does Brian say? On the clock
Brian?
end, to be fair, it's nearly impossible to sync the game clock with the stream anyway. NFPL and FCS do it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brian. The game clock in arena, in gym, however we want to call it, for what we do,
In stadium.
very hard to line up. And we've even seen that with folks that are in the building. You know, it's hard. It's hard to keep up with what's going on, and especially in small sports. Like I think of, like if you think of, let's just keep using NFPL references for tonight if you want, and say, you know, if you look at New Mexico Flagship's court, it's small, so there's a lot of balls that are going out of bounds, and without revealing too many secrets. Yeah, there's no secrets here, but yeah, we can. I could say in those kind of situations, Detroit and on the FCS side, like the ball's out of play a lot. Into you're clicking that mouse, start stop like crazy. And then the score bug, we use a similar score bug. We use the same kind of like setup as what is currently being used in NFPL, just a different design. And you know, sometimes if you're using it on a mobile, and you're trying to tap that and it's not reacting because you're on a tight screen for what the interface is meant to be size-wise, that can be difficult. So definitely, but you'd hope to see a timer that's within at least, you know, 10-15 seconds of real game time if possible. Doesn't have to be exact.
I've looked into tapping into those, like the big scoreboards in the gyms.
Yeah.
Like getting the time feed out of it. But what I've looked at is that most scoreboard systems like Daktronics are very proprietary. They won't just give it to you.
You know what's interesting is I think Brian has done it best actually. Here in the chat is he's, you know, when all fails, put a camera on the score bug on the scoreboard in the building.
Yep.
And then whoever's running that, who has to, Sorry, I just got distracted by something somebody was saying in their chat. But yeah, they that's a really good way to, hey, you're short a volunteer, then just put a little camera on it and
Right.
you know, trim it up in OBS. I'd love to find a way to link those together, like a place like Lansing, where that's all digital anyway, running
Yeah.
off of a computer. I would love to find a way to just tap into that.
I think they did.
Jennifer, I see you on dual screens. Are you in the chat? I see your Instagram story. I'm snooping. Six votes in the chat now, so we got 2 more votes. Both the MIFA. So we got about a 2/3 split in favor of Futsal Factory.
So hot take. Futsal Factory should have never changed their name.
Oh yeah, I know you like that Mud Puppy's name.
I love the Mud Puppies. Bring back the Mud Puppies.
Robert coming up big. I like Robert.
Oh, check it out. Gerard's in the chat. What's up, Gerard? Last couple
Last couple
games in
games in
Lansing,
Lansing.
they used the stream clock for the in-house clock. Yep, they sure did.
Nice. Yeah, see, that's a nice thing. And now Lansing is the anomaly in futsal in the U.S. So it's
Right.
like it's hard sometimes to use that as a comparison because no one else has that resource in the U.S.
Yeah, it's true.
Actually, to be fair, in most places in the world, I would say it's not that good. I mean, Luke and I were talking yesterday. We were chatting while we were watching some games, and even the Argentina, which I would say is probably top 4 or 5 futsaling countries in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Their stream didn't have a clock at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even know what time of you kind of got to gauge off of how long the stream's been running, how much time's left.
You couldn't even see a scoreboard anywhere in sight. I had no idea what they were using.
Yeah, it wasn't even in camera view or anything. I'm sure the commentators there, because they run a 3-man, they run primarily a 2-man commentary team, and then they have a third that chimes in rarely. But I wonder if they just kind of say what the time is while they're chatting.
Maybe, yeah. We got the commissioner on the court.
Yeah, here we go. No knee braces this year. Feeling good.
Confident with that knee.
Send those my way if you're done with them. I didn't realize how bad my knees hurt from futsal yesterday until I went up some stairs this morning, and I was like, oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. There's those old man soccer knees I've been...
Right. I used to not know what that was all about, and then I hit 40, and I was like, oh, that must be what people are talking about.
Yeah, I'm the youngster here. I'm at 35, but I'm just like, oh, good Lord. Like, when we do pickup and there's only 8 people, I just, like, my heart sinks into my gut. I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to have to run. I'm going to have to, like, really run. Like, I run anyway because I'm competitive, but, like, now I really got to, like, start to end. There's no subs. Like, oh,
Right.
jeez. This is going to get really ugly really fast.
All right. So Gerard asked in the chat, any idea how leagues like the NBA sync up their clock? Because everything they have is dead on custom.
Yeah, I would say money solves that problem in a lot of
Very
ways.
easily.
Infinite budget.
Infinite budget. Brian just subscribed to the channel. Thanks, Brian.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know we had... this is sweet. I didn't know we had these. What's the... Who?
Did you see the alert?
Yeah, I didn't realize. That's the first time I've seen an alert.
Well, it has to happen like while we're streaming.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think I don't think we've seen subscribers during a live stream since probably our CONCACAF watch parties.
Right. And I think Brian has it right here. They hook in directly into the timing console. Everything's hooked up together.
Yeah.
Everything's in sync.
All their stuff is
Money.
too, and on a big jumbo and all that stuff. So it's all probably run off the same computers, if I had to guess.
Is this a? Oh no, this isn't a 6 foul.
Should I unsubscribe and resubscribe for the alert? Yeah, let's see what it does. This is blowing my mind. It's like I'm not even the owner of this channel. I didn't even know we had that. That's sweet. That made me smile. Personal channel wasn't subscribed. That's cool, Brian. That's all right. I've seen your videos on your channel. I saw you subscribe. You're an OG on the channel. Don't you worry. You're
Right.
royalty. You're Futsal News royalty.
Jennifer Scani, are there any international size courts in this league or all gyms? Yeah, Futsal
So-
Factory has a good size court.
Yeah, so I would say, like for me personally, when I'm talking to teams, and when we've set up these tours, for me, international size court and a gym are not mutually exclusive. So this is you guys might not have been in yet when this is a very very beginning of the stream, but Luke and I were saying like this when it was on their top side camera before it went bad. This looks about the size of Aquinas or maybe slightly bigger to me.
Yeah.
So it is probably it is either a 40 by 20 or it is like literally only a couple feet off. No, this is great. It can't be more than like 5 feet off, I think, of what a 40 by 20 would be. Lengthwise. Width looks about right to me. Seen some shout outs from kids in the chat to their coaches at Futsal Factory. That's cool. Seeing Robert called out. Thomas Dono. Is it Dono or Dono? Do you know how to say his last name, Luke?
I think it's Dono. Dono.
I've met him in
Dono?
person. Futsal Factory usually sends their older reserve teams, like their teenage reserve teams, to the Akron USYF regional tournament.
Yeah.
And Thomas is a really good level-headed coach, and he's really good for those kids. You know, when there's a lot of teenage angst and hormones mixing together on a court, it can get a little chaotic, and he's a good level head that really brings those kids back to earth, which is good.
Thomas is a good player. He's impressive.
And he's a great player. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Thomas all the way around.
I
Good
love
player, good person.
His goal celebration is always breaking boards.
Oh yeah,
He's
that's
always
right. I forgot.
Breaking boards.
Yeah, I think so. Thomas and I had to kind of sort out a problem at the last regional with one of his players, and he was very, very chill, very, very
Good.
cool.
That's
And
awesome.
he in this particular situation, his player was very much in the wrong, and he knew it. And we were able to diffuse it. The parents were a little upset of the kid as well, which I mean, I think they were more upset at their kid and were, directing that anger just wherever.
Right.
Not to say they were out of line. They were just upset.
Yeah.
I want to make that very clear. It wasn't a bad situation with the parents. And the more I talked to them, the more everything kind of made sense. But yeah, it was really refreshing to be able to talk to him and kind of work through it with him and the referees. He completely understood. That's Thomas right now walking onto the court. Right? Or no, that's somebody else. That's not Thomas.
Thomas is playing. He's in the back right now.
Yeah, he's in the back. Yep, he's got the ball right now. So he's just really, really great guy, really excellent player. He actually drove down for that game from Ann Arbor last minute because another coach had a family emergency and they had to swap places. So, he drove probably 3.5 hours last minute to Akron to coach this game that was at like 9 o'clock at night.
Oof.
And then have to keep a level head and not be frustrated yourself in tough situation personally.
Right.
I mean, that's a little challenging to like be there mentally. I was really impressed with the way that he handled himself.
Jared Wilson's killing it.
And he's really keeping them out.
Yeah, Futsal Factory need to take a timeout. They cannot figure it out. They cannot unlock
Camera lady?
Barusa.
Shout out, camera lady.
Shut up, camera lady.
Yeah, seriously though, like the camera people that come in and take photos and stuff and make this happen, I'm very thankful for those people. You got to be passionate about futsal to be there.
Good question for the timeout here, Gerard. I'll throw it to you first, Jake. Best player for Barusa.
Best player for Brusa, I think it's Micah.
Like a Vasi?
Yeah, I like Micah. He's not someone that's always on the stat sheet in the traditional columns of assists and goals, but he usually is. He's very consistent. He's young. He's a young talent that's only going to get better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you look at Brusa, when you think of everything the whole way around, his contributions defensively, assists, goals, upside, I think Micah is one that is going to be synonymous with the name Brusa in the future for sure, if he's not already.
Man, I'm liking this Jared Wilson guy in goal. Well, never mind. Spoke too soon.
Kingston, man, how dare you? Jared's very good. This has been a great game so far.
Yeah, he's been playing. I mean, he's got a score on there, but I mean, he's made like a couple of kick saves. He's made a couple of just laid out saves. He's been shutting the door on Futsal Factory quite a bit this game.
Yeah. Vese for me, I think Lima is my number 2, by the way. This is a shout out. Honorable mention. What about you, Luke? Who do you like on Brusa?
Like Wilson.
Wilson? Yeah.
It's tough because I don't think Kawe is the best player on the team. Don't get me wrong. I just like that position. I like I like the traditional pivot up top. I think it's a cool, like it's something that to me is like kind of neat about futsal. I like someone who plays big and strong up top and can turn and fire. I don't know why it's appealing to me.
I know that they just posted some stats in the last couple of days.
Christian
So
Lima, is that his name?
Lima is actually the top of their stats for goals and assists. Actually, my favorite Micah is not even on the stat sheet. For top 3. But Mateus Lima, 10 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah, he's a little Brazilian.
Jan Nascimento, 9 goals, 4 assists. Kawe did 8 goals, 1 assist. Excuse me. Yeah, so Lima definitely leads in the stats. Hey, top camera looks better.
Let's go.
Connection's still pretty poor, but it's up and running, which it wasn't before. They must be on Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wi-Fi is a neat thing when you're scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah, it's great for death scrolling.
But production camera work, it's not going to do it.
7.5 minutes to go. If anybody's trying to look for the clock while they're sorting out their cameras, it's in the top left on the left side of the court.
Oh yeah, 7:30 on the clock.
If Futsal Factory wins this, that'll be very, very interesting as far as like where is the talent in NFPL? Is it south or is it north? Last year you saw Olay handle business. I mean, it was a very, very good game, but Olay was meant to win that game. But to have a Midwest team come to the Southwest and overcome kind of those challenges of travel and cost and time change and then win would be very interesting. I mean, that's a very big feather in the cap for Futsal Factory for sure.
Colorado was a good team that year. They played very well.
They were very good this year. They just couldn't quite seem to get it together against Brusa, and that's what killed them. Whereas last year, they got the best of Brusa.
Yeah. It's a tight league out there.
It is. And if I remember right, I think that put Brusa in 3rd place last year.
Yeah.
Did it not? Was it Colorado and Santa Fe, then Brusa, then Flagship?
Yeah.
And then this year, Flagship got 3rd, which actually probably doesn't do them justice for how well they played this year.
Yeah, they're always a good team. They're a bunch of fighters over there, man. Every last one of them put in work every single game.
8 for Brusa. To be fair, I don't know the players very well in NFPL right now.
No, neither do I.
Let's see. I'll look right now. Hold up.
Yeah, Santa Fe had a
Sebastian
Ladini. Santa Fe had a really off year this year.
They did.
I watched them play quite a bit. They put together spots of a game, and then they let the rest go, and it just got them into too much trouble. They couldn't get out. Don't think the numbers are right. Rosters are right on the website. Probably not.
I don't think so. I see multiple numbers. We've had struggles with that ourselves, so it's definitely not easy.
I think the players do it for fun. I think they trade jerseys and they're like, watch this.
Well, depending on like, I know for a fact that the teams that are involved with clubs that also do outdoor, like a lot of times they don't like keep the jerseys with them after the game. They get taken someplace and are washed by an employee of the academy or the club.
Communal jerseys,
and they get rehanded out every game. Like they don't own their kits.
See, I would like to see that change. I would like to see like names printed on jerseys and like, here's your kit.
Yeah, I'd like that too. I mean, Lansing kind of does that. Like, I know that the guys at Lansing take care of the kits. Like, they get put in a wash bin at the end of the game. But those are all customized and they get given back to the guys. But again, Lansing is in a situation where they've got way better resources than anybody else right now. Good luck getting accurate names, numbers of any amateur, semi-regular, semi-pro league. Yeah, for sure. And that's the exact reason what we just referenced, I think, too. Like, that's a good point, Brian. And I think it's because when you're amateur and semi-pro, you're on a limited budget. And another thing we're not talking about is you don't want those jerseys to disappear either. You give a guy a jersey and it's not customized so you can reuse it. Because if that guy ends up not being reliable or if he's gets injured, like you're going to want to give that kit to the next guy that can take his spot. You're not going to want to pay for a whole other kit.
So I know there was talks of Borussia building a facility. I'm not sure. I haven't heard any news on that. Have you heard any news about that, Jake?
To be fair, I haven't had a like legitimate conversation with Coway in a long time. Yellow card to the bench there from Borussia. Alexis Flores. He's still talking. Interesting. So I've not had like a legitimate like actual conversation with Coway in a while, just some texts here and there, and we've not really talked about it. So I don't know where they're at on that, to be honest. I probably need to have like an actual call with him soon. Youth teams just buy their jerseys. Why wouldn't adults do the same? Yeah, I mean, you could pass the cost through to the player because that's what the youth teams are doing.
Yeah.
So that's an option for sure. I think, you know what I think it is I think there's a fear of like, okay, we need people to commit to this. Futsal is still in its infancy. We need buy-in. Like, let's just do what saves money for everybody to make it more appealing.
Right.
I
think you have a point there because, I mean, think about a kid. You're not really dealing with the kid. You're dealing with the parent. You know what I mean? They paid money for their kid to be out there. The parents are going to wash the jersey. The parents are going to take care of the jersey. The parents are going to put the jersey on the kid and send them on their way with the other colored jersey in their bag.
Yeah, right. Hopefully. I have I am in a WhatsApp group that I probably was accidentally added to for a Lansing City Youth Academy. And I didn't exit it because I kind of want to see what it looks like from everybody. Like, I know how our academy does it here with Heart and Soul, but I was curious, like, okay, I told the person, I was like, I'm going to steal best practice from you and just say in this chat.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny to see like, hey, don't forget this is the jersey we plan on wearing, but bring both. Like that reminder has to be given every time. Like, bring both, Please, for the love of God, bring both. Like, it's basically what it says. It's like,
We are a soccer family, and we have 2 kids in soccer, and I still bring both jerseys, bring both
yes.
socks, bring another jersey of a completely different color because who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. You never know. Ooh.
I've never washed my son's jersey kit.
No teams have a kit man? Probably
No,
not. Not at this
probably
level,
not.
I doubt. I wish. My kid loves his jersey and wears them all the time. I hope we can get to a place where there is pride in their jersey and they would want it and wear it. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, Jennifer, I love that. You know, that's something that when you think to the glory days of futsal when Duchamp was the head coach in the US, that short
Right.
little period where times were good. Not great, but good. Duchamp even did that. Like, he was wearing US soccer gear everywhere he went because he was proud to wear that crest.
Mhm.
And they didn't pay him beans. Like, he was basically doing that, not basically, he was doing it. Wow, Robert got there just in time. Well done.
Woo! I'm a little bit behind you. I'm gonna refresh.
Oh, sorry, I spoiled it
No,
for
you're
you.
fine. I'm just gonna refresh.
There's that long ball.
Yep.
Found the corner. Play it back to the middle, and this should be well. Futsal Factory did a good job shutting that down. That's the other thing about that long ball to the corner is hopefully your ala on that side that you've taken the corner on is cutting to the middle.
Right.
How did that not go in? Brian, you're right. That was some dark magic. I don't know.
That's damn right. He's got international experience, man.
Well, and the crazy thing is they missed the goal. Like, he got the goalie throw out of that, but he had that goal covered. That was not going in.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how he got there.
Bruce looks steamed. Well, I wonder what's going on. They're playing a great game. They're not down, but I've seen people like kicking stuff and yelling, and I wonder what
Yeah.
the
I think that
reason
we're going
is
to see a
for.
yellow to the bench here because I saw the third official call that out.
I don't understand.
Bruce has played very well. There's nothing to be upset about right now.
Yeah.
It's just a tight game.
Well, from what I've seen in the Southwest, tempers flare high over there, man. I mean, every single time, every single game. I don't know
It is a
if the.
passionate crew.
I guess.
That is for sure. Here we go. Great.
What?
Oh, no way.
Oh, he got a hand on it too.
I thought Robert saved that for a minute.
Ugh, he got
He
a
got a
hand on
big
it.
piece of that.
He did. He's got to feel hard done on that. Great goal though.
Teams are going to be selling fan gear like in Brazil, which, by the way, I saw teams even sells futsal shoes. Oh, interesting. Even selling shoes. Does this pick up on the mic when I do this? Everybody listen. You guys getting any of that?
Little tap.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll quit doing it. Just making sure. Just making sure. Oh, man. Good night for futsal.
Heck yeah.
It's a Lima. 8. I got to listen a little closer to Garrett's commentary and see if he calls the guy out. Yeesh. I feel like I'm watching through a fog when they're on that main camera.
Yeah.
You know, in modern gyms, there's Ethernet hookups at the top of all these stands. There's literally no reason not to have it.
I don't know, man. You got to think if it's this high quality of a gym, they're streaming their basketball games.
It is a community college, so I wonder if they're. I mean, they still should. You'd think, in the modern era
Yeah.
of internet. What is internet? Remember when internet first came out, and that was like on the Today Show? They're like, "What is internet? How does it
Right?
work?" These are literally questions that were asked at one point in our lives, and now look at what we can do.
I know.
We got a commentator in Michigan covering a game in Arizona. That's great. And the momentum has been for Bruce the last few minutes. They've
It
really had
really
the pressure
has.
on.
Futsal Factory had that one goal they got in right after that timeout, and they cannot get the opportunities together. What's interesting to me with Futsal Factory is that all I've seen is run and play shots. Like
Oh,
nothing like back post cuts, nothing like build up. It's shots from outside like that 3-point area.
yeah.
Not a lot
Yeah,
of
that's true.
creativity. Not all gyms are modern. And the robot cameras that stream are supposed to have their own dedicated. Yes, they do. You're right. Those whole systems they involve because our
Robot cameras. You mean like a Veo or something like that?
it's kind of like that, but like they have this big beastie, huge installation at mid court, and I think it has
Uh-huh.
2 different cameras. And what's nice is that it's kind of like all in one package, and they take care of
Ah.
everything.
Ooh.
Oh, and you can subscribe to it. It's got a streaming service like
Ah.
Netflix, and they
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
announcers, and it's okay. I saw the tracking on it sometimes, and sometimes you would track like this, like you would tilt and zoom. I was like, whoa! But it's multi-sport. Yeah, it's nice for tiny
I
schools like
wonder.
ours that don't have the budget.
Yeah. I wonder if because this gym is so well kept, to me, it just looks like it's modern. That's also a possibility. Maybe I'm giving the gym too much credit.
Pixelot is what NFHS schools use. Yeah, yeah. That's the system we have, Brian. Is
Takes
I
a
guess
lot.
it's Pixelot.
That's cool. See, this is why this community is so awesome. I learned that. I did not know that. Ooh,
I
yeah.
still would any day of the week rather have actual cameras.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a slightly better quality. Is that Rudy on the mic?
Rudy would go into ducks so hard. Oh man, I remember just cringing. It's like, oh Rudy, that's so mean.
What is happening? That was a late whistle, but I think it was the right call.
I think he let this 2-0 happen, which was smart. Or she. I can't tell who was calling the game.
I think that woman referee we're seeing is the third official.
Okay.
Big crowd in the stream, even with some of the production issues, which I think says a lot about our community, our futsal community. They're passionate. They're willing to sit through some of this to get it figured out.
Right.
But the problem is, this is not going to find that next group of people
No.
to get you to 200, 250 viewers.
Well, yeah, we've talked about this before. Is that there's going to be about, this is my guess, we're going to have like 10 to 20% of people who know every single thing about futsal. And when you have true growth, you're going to have about 80% of the people that just want to be entertained.
Yeah, right.
They want to drink a beer. They want to watch the game. They want to have a good time. They want to see quality. So that's my
Yeah.
opinion. Are they going to call that?
Man, they're beating up the commissioner tonight.
Wonder what the foul count is at.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're not keeping track of the fouls at all.
Mm-mm. They should take that moment to designate the fifth foul, though. We should be able to see that.
I thought I saw. Here we go. I'm pulling something up for later at halftime.
Oh, 4-3. So 4 fouls for Barusa, 3 fouls for Futsal Factory. Woo. Oh
Wow.
my. Wow.
That's 2 sitters in a row.
That'll
That's
haunt
coming
you.
from a guy that didn't score at all during pickup last night, though. So take that with a grain of salt. I hit the post 3 times in a 10-minute period. I literally could not buy a goal last night.
My 12-year-old daughter come out and played pickup with me the other night. She scored 2
Yeah?
goals. Yeah.
Oh, way to rub it in.
She played
12-year-old scored more than
good.
me. That's crazy.
She tackled the ball off me, and I looked around, I was like, who did that? Hey, there we
Felt
go.
that coming the last couple minutes.
Yeah, they were putting the pressure on. I think he just made up for his shank on that.
Yeah.
sitter.
That one stayed down.
Yeah.
That was a nice nice mag on the keep. Critical time too, right before the half. They need to keep it together here.
Dono's into it, man. He's pumped. Dono. Does anybody have a pronunciation on that? I don't know.
Yeah, if anybody knows Thomas personally, please. Hopefully at halftime they get a chance to work on that. This may sound weird to people who don't know me or maybe are just recently following the channel, but I want this to be successful. This needs to be good. I don't like seeing this kind of level of quality for anybody. I want people to be able to enjoy futsal and see it for what it is in the US and have it showcased well. I think they're going to run this clock down.
Yeah, they gotta run it out. Could be bad. Halftime.
Wow.
Well,
2-2.
2-2.
A little back and forth.
Take a look at their chat. 1 second.
Cool.
think we-
Halftime in Chandler. Not Phoenix.
Chandler. I think we got some Brazilian fans watching.
Yeah, I see a lot of Portuguese
Yep.
language in the old Chatteruski.
Well, fun fact, Brusa is short for Brazil, USA, or combo,
Yeah.
conjunction.
They also sweet. They also partnered with a Brazilian club, I noticed this year as well, for like a they're calling it an exchange program where like guys
they
are going
partner with?
there.
Because I thought Colorado partnered with Magnus.
I think Colorado you said, right?
Yeah, Colorado partnered with Magnus.
Can't remember who Bruce had partnered with. I remember seeing the announcement right before Colorado made theirs.
Speaking of partnerships, I'm still interested to see what. Ooh, good job, Garrett.
That's
I
a
like
nice
that graphic.
graphic.
Good job, buddy. I'm still interested to see Ricardinho's partnership with United Futsal and what that all comes to. I know you got your.
I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I think they're paying the guy to do videos for him, advocating, but I don't think he actually.
Well, that's what I'm interested to see, because it sounds like a build up to something, but what is this something? Will it ever be something?
When you announce a partnership and don't describe what it is, I'm always a little suspicious.
Right.
Like when a business announces they're partnering with something or someone, they say, with this partnership, we will accomplish ABC.
Right.
But when you come out and say, historic partnership with this person who has way more clout than us, and then don't describe what that partnership is, I lead to believe that you paid the guy to do a marketing stunt for you. That's kind of where my mind goes. I hope that's not the case. I hope that he's legitimately helping the futures and training these kids in some way or shape or form. I just don't see why he would do that in the United States. Like, I don't understand why. That kind of doesn't make sense to me.
Mm.
I don't know. Hopefully they talk some more about it. I saw that he did a hype video recently as like a second video, like hyping up their futures program. So
Right.
with any luck, there's some fire where this smoke is, but I'm cautiously
Well,
pessimistic.
Ricardinho is not young. I mean, he knows it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
his playing days pro are over, I think.
yeah, and the thing is, I mean, this isn't a guesswork. This is factual. Is that when people reach a certain age, some of the things they're doing in their career are no longer focused on playing, or they're solely
Yeah.
focused on one thing: money.
The fact
How
that he's
can
played
they?
for this long is already amazing.
It's insane.
He's what, 39?
Yeah, I think so. Might be older.
40. Wait, no. I grabbed the wrong Ricardinho. That's the outdoor.
39. You got it right.
Hey, look at me. Sometimes I know stuff. Sometimes I know things.
Sometimes good.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I love that
You ever
one.
seen that? Is that what you were referencing?
Yes, it was.
Did I get it right?
It was
Alright, good.
100% spot on.
You
We're
were trying
in
to be
sync.
professional, and I just went there. I don't. It's fine. We can't be
See,
monetized yet. There's no sense
hey,
holding back right now.
it's okay.
Sorry, kids
We're
watching.
we're not a family show anymore. Oh
I
no.
guess not. We do pretty good. I mean, if you guys knew how I talk during the day, this is pretty tame. I'm a bit of a sailor during
Ugh.
the day. Anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, that was a good moment.
Oh jeez.
That is one of my favorite, like, memeable moments, and it describes most of my life. Man.
I think the
Hey, so
latter
if you guys,
describes my last few years.
what's that? The last
I
few
think,
years? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
Oh, oh, that got my eyes watered there.
Mm.
Hey, if you guys are liking these watch-alongs, they seem to do all right. You guys seem to like it and be interactive, which I enjoy, and it gives me someone to talk to while I'm watching futsal, which I enjoy. We are going to, well, I shouldn't say we. I've not talked to Luke about this, but I guess we'll find out now. The women's CONCACAF futsal championship is coming up, and it starts, what, Tuesday?
This is it Monday?
It's
I
this
think there's
coming
one
week.
game Monday, right?
Monday is the play-in between Honduras and Nicaragua.
Yes.
And then the United States and the rest of the groups begin play on the 29th, which is the Tuesday. All the games are at 7 p.m. Eastern, which means at least one of my children will be close to being in bed, which makes it manageable for my spouse to manage the little ones. So I will be streaming watch parties for those 3 games. All 3 of them are at 7 p.m. So we've got
And when he says the games, we're referencing just the United States games.
yeah, I don't think I'm, because I think these are the last games of the night. Wait, depending on how the games go or how the night goes or the stream goes, if there's a game afterwards and we want to watch it, maybe we hang out. But
No, I'm planning on. I was planning on watching all of them. So if you're streaming, I'll be there too. I'm going to be
sweet.
watching anyway.
Okay, cool. Then that's what we'll do. Let me pull the schedule real fast. I have the US schedule up to the side here. Can I can share this, right? I got a share screen option, right? Don't I?
Not unless I beat you to it.
At this point, you might share screen with others. Boom. Okay, I'm there. All right.
You get the better graphic anyway.
This is I don't know where this came from. I just saw Grand Rapids Olay share it.
Oh, nice.
Can't believe I didn't like that. I'm a terrible Olay fan. So all the games are 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is really good for me. So we got Tuesday, April 29th against the winner of the play-in. The 30th, USA faces Costa Rica.
That'll be a good one.
Who Costa Rica and the United States played each other 3 times in friendlies last month, and USA didn't lose a single game. There's 1 draw and 2 wins, which surprised me. I thought Costa Rica would be more competitive, so I'm curious to see who they field for the championship, if there's any major changes, and if that game is any different. So that'll definitely be a game to watch. And then USA versus Canada, I think, is going to be super competitive as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. United States is definitely in the group of death. So these games should all be fairly competitive with the exception of the play-in. I think if you're in a play-in, you're probably on the bottom seeds, but never say never.
Right.
In CONCACAF, especially in futsal.
Seen worse. Imagine being on the men's team.
Yeah, now we gotta what? Anyway, so this is going to be very interesting because this is going to be the first public games to watch the United States women's team.
Right.
And it's going to be on their big stage thus far. So after a couple of years behind the scenes training camps under a completely different coach, now we've got a new coach who's seen our first competitive play against Costa Rica last month and is now building the team up. 2 players from Olay will be in this squad. So if you're from the Midwest like I am, you've probably got some familiar faces in Satali Luna and I cannot remember.
Kirsten Kornick.
Yeah, Kirsten Kornick. Yeah.
Kirsten Kornick.
Kirsten's a younger girl out of Olay, I think, if I remember right. I think she's younger than Satali is, but Satali's really good. I'm really excited to see her play at an international level. So that's going to be really sweet.
You know what I noticed is I think what's her name? Gillette got cut.
Yeah, Tillette. Yeah. I'm not sure what's up with that because she played in every single camp under Barato.
I wonder if she had just other commitments with club and college and stuff.
If it was anything, I bet it was college because her club has been extremely supportive.
So yeah, I'm there. I'm here for it.
You know what I really like, Luke? Because we've criticized the United States for this in the past. The team names are actually listed, and the futsal teams are actually listed. Like right here, this is Jeanette from Arlington, Virginia. We've got some universities referenced, so I don't know if these are true futsalers or not. But we got Olay actually referenced like they should be.
Right. Legends Futsal.
This one here, Legends Futsal, I believe that's the ex-coach's club team, but I don't know that for sure.
Huh.
So take that with a pinch of salt there. Olay, Sporting Maryland is a futsal club in, of course, Maryland, Arlington. So I like that they actually listed the futsal clubs they're affiliated with instead of pretending like they're bigger than they are. So I give them credit for that. That's something I've criticized in the past, so I want to make sure that I call that out on this. And I like seeing that. But we will be doing these watch parties again for these, and we're going to be supporting the U.S. women. And then depending on when Canada plays, I'm really interested in keeping an eye on Canada. So that'll be fun too.
It'd be interesting to have Chris come in and talk a little bit about the girls.
Yeah, I need to message him. I wonder if it's probably too late. I bet he's already heading down there with it already being Saturday before the tournament.
Oh, is he going to be announcing?
He is commentating from Guatemala City, baby.
Ah, dude, we should message him and see if he even give us a little quick shout out.
You know what he did is we've talked about this in the past in the lead up before we knew the times and we just knew the location. We hadn't even known the teams in the group yet. And he said, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be down there. If you guys want me to report back, let me know." So we might do that too. We might take him up on that if he's still up for it. I'm not going to pressure him because he's going to have real big commitments on his plate.
I'll
taking
pressure
care of this. This is, I've talked to Chris quite a bit, and he's a very good commentator in my opinion. I'm really high on Chris.
Right.
And I think he's got a very bright future, and I think we're going to see him again because he does a very nice job, and I think that people are starting to recognize it, which is good. It's
super great to work with.
Long overdue. They've got rosters. Hang on. Let me share my screen. The players aren't back out, right?
No, we got kids playing. Yeah.
We got kids. Okay.
We got the kids.
I hate the way CONCACAF does this, but
yeah, they're terrible.
Okay. Is this showing? Yes. Wonderful. So this is a Canadian one. Montreal Extreme is a really good team. So these teams, they did this with their men's team too, Luke. They're pretty Montreal heavy.
Yeah.
Quebec heavy on the Canadian team.
I mean, where else you can pull? I mean, I guess you could pull from Vancouver and
University
Winnipeg?
of Pittsburgh. Shout out USA. Oh, we got a big announcement from the commish for NFPL after this. That's interesting.
Let's go.
We'll stick around for that. This is why I'm surprised Costa Rica didn't do better in the friendlies. Is like they have such a good infrastructure that all their people are in their country with actual futsal clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be cautious if I was a U.S. fan about that game against Costa Rica in Game 2. I'm not saying that we can't win it, but I think that they will be more competitive at CONCACAF than they were in those friendlies. I truly believe that. They've got a 36-year-old in the squad, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty seasoned but not old, I would say. Cuba, unattached the whole way across. That's interesting. I wonder if that was just they didn't report where they play or if it was something else. That's interesting. Huh. It's crazy when I see these 2000s and thinking like this person that was born in 2000 is 25 years old. That makes me feel old. Moving on. Ooh, Tigres. That's a good club in Guatemala. I've seen them before. They I think they're kind of like top to mid table if I remember right.
A lot of river sports shouts.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a coach affiliation there, or if that's actually like the top team, like in Olay is in our country, or what. That's interesting. Honduras, they got it tough. The fact that they got to do a play-in first, they're gonna play and then do a group. That's gonna be tough. Older squad. Interesting.
Yeah. Mexico. I'm interested to see them play. I hope I can catch one of their games.
What is this? It's everywhere. Is that a university there or something?
Yeah.
I mean, these people aren't exactly. Well, I guess they are kind of like later university age. Nicaragua, same thing. They're going to have a tough challenge if they make it through that play-in.
A lot from Managua.
Dude, I love these names and stuff. This is sweet. Panama. I love Panama's new crest, by the way. I think this is really nice modern look for them. It's nice and clean.
That is nice.
I like that a lot.
Unattached
there too. Chiltern United in England is like a tier 3. That's interesting. It's like a tier 3 club in England futsal, if I remember right. I'm a little rusty on my England stuff, but interesting. And then there's our squad right there.
Yep.
Lord, we've got Lord, the singer. Safira, another great club on the East Coast.
Yeah, Safira is good. It's interesting, unattached.
Yeah, who are these? Are these the ones that had it's kind of weird, isn't it? Hang on, Mitt. Let's go back to that post.
I don't see
Whoops, that
Satali
wasn't right.
Luna on there. Oh, there she is. Luna. Oh, they're down at the bottom. Okay, I see them. They have Satali Luna as unattached. Their graphics are not up to date because that's an obvious one.
Why? I just noticed this. Did they put middle names in here?
I think they did this because this type of setup for more of a Latin-based community is very common.
Ah, okay. All right, we're back to the second half, so I'm gonna jump back. But yeah, we're gonna watch those games. We're gonna get to know these players. We're gonna have some fun.
Oh, they got the stream cleaned up,
Yeah, that's great. Hey, halftime's a great time to do it.
right?
Nobody's watching. Case in point, we were cruising the web.
Oh, you know what they did? They moved the
They
iPad
switched.
upstairs.
They moved the iPad up top. Yep. Hey, good.
Works.
We lost the clock because it looks like Kayleen's trying to run that second camera.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. I'd be pissed about it, but I'm glad the camera quality is better at least.
Right.
At this point, I don't know about you, Luke. From a production perspective, you having more experience in this. Do you just ditch the second camera at this point and just do what? Get down to basics, or what would you do?
Like, I mean, I think, if I'm having a second camera, where I found the most use of it is if it's on sticks, if it's on a tripod, and it has a zoom, because then you're starting to see faces, you're starting to get starting to get that personal touch with players, getting to know players and names. And to me, with FCS, we did a lot of that, and I feel like you feel as a fan, especially a fan that only watches on internet and on stream, you feel more connected. When you're at games, you get that your eyes automatically do this automatic zoom. That's a goal.
Whoa!
Who was that? Jan Nascimento.
Great goal. Sorry to interrupt you there, Luke.
No. Garrett's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, using that zoom to get in and know players, I think it just adds that personal touch to the team and to futsal, and people start caring more about people and caring more about who's scoring, who's not scoring, who's doing well, who's not doing well. It's kind of hard to care for a Mario character that
Giving Kayleen some credit here. She's staying close to the laptop to try and do both.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think at this point, like if it's that bad, just kill that second camera and just at least get your basics down. Like at this point, it's a loss. Like you should have done that planning ahead of time to have that extra volunteer. And then you had to figure out the camera situation at halftime, so you couldn't find that second person to run a camera to help you if you could find a volunteer for that. I don't know.
One of the best productions I helped with NFPL is we contracted in cameras, and it was
that the Colorado? Was that Colorado?
Yeah, when the fans did the switcheroo.
That's where the fans were like throwing stuff at the Santa Fe bench, and they had to get moved to the other side of the court mid-game.
Yeah. So that was one of the best, most dreamy productions because everything was just silky smooth.
Yeah. So 3-2 to Brusa. Early second half momentum to them, but Futsal Factory had a great first half. I wouldn't count them out this early. It's very, very early for a futsal match. A lot of great futsal on the calendar right now. The AFCON is going on right now.
Right.
And those games have been surprisingly tight. I don't know if anybody's watched any of them. If you're in the chat now and you're looking for links to futsal matches, I've been trying to post them as they go on. Tanzania has been a surprise for me in that. Madagascar has been surprisingly competitive.
Right.
Morocco's doing Morocco things and just crushing everyone. But Egypt was eliminated today. I did not expect that at all.
Were they really?
Yeah, they drew with Guinea 3-3.
Oof.
And so both teams got knocked out by that draw.
Oh,
So it was a really intense match because they were both like scratching and clawing for goals.
right.
Yeah, that women's AFCON's been interesting. You can definitely tell that a lot of the roster in these smaller countries are soccer players playing, because you can tell
Mhm.
by the way they play.
Yeah.
They're playing with the instep of their foot instead of their
Mhm.
sole. Their goalkeepers are diving instead of doing kick saves, like stuff that's
Mhm.
just clear outdoor strategy, which is fine. I mean, we're watching the building blocks of the foundation of women's futsal on a global level.
Right.
So that is going to be a lot of what we see. I'm okay with that. The fact that the games are competitive, I think, is more important than the style of the play right now. Just me.
Right.
I don't know
I
if
did
that's how other people would feel or not, but
I did notice that the play was very outdoor style. I
yeah,
did notice that watching
little
the few games
sloppy,
I've watched.
right? A little
Yeah.
sloppy.
Yeah, and they just try and it's just in futsal, like you can't push the ball along. You kind of got to roll it along with your foot, and
Mhm,
you can see that, and it kind of offers this kind of wild back and forth because people are trying to like dribble with the touch. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
it just gets the game too fast, and it's like a pickup for a couple players. I was like, slow down to go fast, slow down to go fast. You can actually move a lot faster if you slow down.
Whoa, what a save. Sorry to interrupt again. I don't
No,
mean to
you're
keep doing it.
good.
Wow, that was a great save.
It was a good save.
Batted that way.
Uh, Gerard asked, "How did they score?"
Oh yeah. So
Um,
Gerard, they had a really bad Futsal Factory had a bad giveaway in their own third, on the far side of the court to the camera, to the fan side.
mhm,
And Brusa collected it, couple of steps to compose themselves, and just shot an absolute rocket into the back post.
yep.
Pretty much right off the rip. I'd say in the first 2 minutes, Luke, you think?
Yeah, it was really
Minute and a
fast.
half? Number 8, no. No, it was we said his name.
Yeah.
Say his name.
Nasaveo or Nas.
Years.
I forgot.
I believe.
Jan Nasaveo, not Jan Nasavio. Not
Yeah,
it's
Jan. Yeah, Jan had it. Escamento, maybe?
Yeah.
Escamento? I don't know. I can't even roll my R's, so I shouldn't be pronouncing anything Spanish.
Drink another one of those beers, you'll be rolling your eyes
Hey,
really well.
yeah. Is that right? So, fun fact about my horrible Spanish. This is a long time ago now, way back in 2018, I went to Uruguay and Argentina with my friends who are from there, and they wanted to go back to see their family, invited us to go, which was an honor, and gave us built-in tour guides, which we thought was sweet. So we went back, and we were all kind of joking, and I've been trying to learn my Spanish, and I could not roll my R's. I can't tell you how many nights over beers and mate, sitting with my friends on a Friday night trying to practice roll my R's, and even just practicing the dog perro, and I couldn't do it. And finally, I just said, "Screw it! Every dog I see in Argentina is gonna be called amigo. That's it. Like every dog's an
Amigo.
amigo. Every dog's a friend to me." And they all laughed and made fun of me, and which was merited, and I can handle it. That was I love that kind of stuff. I love the back and forth. And we got to we stayed in Uruguay first for a week and a half, and we get to our Airbnb or whatever the equivalent is of that down there, and there was a stray dog in our neighborhood, and we started cooking up some meat, some lamb, and so he smells it. He comes around, and I see him walk into the yard. Ooh, great goal!
Was that Cole?
Goal Russell
It is
again. He's
Cole
got a
Russell.
brace. He's keeping them alive.
I was about ready to make a comment. Like, do you think Cole has fallen off a bit from Grand Rapids?
Nah, no. I think that I don't know what the deal is with him and Olay. I know he lives in Lansing now.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, he's the thing with Cole now. If I'm a team manager or a coach or a owner or whatever in futsal, I mean, he's not old, but he's older.
Hmm.
And in today's futsal atmosphere, do I want to add Cole to my team, or do I want to put a youth player in for the future? Is
Right.
now the question.
Yep.
And I think Midwest has good balance that they can afford to have him on the roster. Whereas I think Ole is an aging squad. So they
Mhm.
got to consider that. Do they really want another older player in the squad, or do they want to bring in a youngster, like
Yeah.
one of the younger Real brothers, or
Mhm.
who's the next Villa Gomez, or whoever.
Right.
Um, and then on the other side of that too, when you look at Futsal Factory, um, I don't know how much Cole played with them during the regular season because again, I really haven't followed the Midwest side of the NFPL. Um, but I don't know how. Whoa!
That was off the
Wow!
back post.
Wow!
Whew.
But I think that Cole has a relationship with Ducks that dates back
Yeah.
prior to his time in Grand Rapids. I think he spent some time in Ann Arbor or near Ann Arbor that put him there. Um, so I think that's why he still comes and plays, and he literally lives halfway now between the two cities. So
Yeah.
kind of get away with that. I know he played with them in Atlantic City, so I don't know if he's someone they just count on for travel for these away games or what. I don't know, but he's very. I think he's very good. I think he's still very good.
Cole to Lansing City? Question mark.
I would say no. I don't want to speak for Lansing City, but I would probably say no.
I would put the stamp of no on that move.
And the reason I say no is because Lansing City it kind of goes back to what I initially said. Lansing City has taken the approach of bringing in youth
Mhm.
and playing for the future and getting these youth players play time. Drew Barney,
Mhm.
Castaneda. Um, that's a slot that gets taken away from one of those guys.
Your
So
wily
do you,
veterans already taken up with Gonzalez and Kleppel. They don't need someone to coach
and
on the
Saltzman.
field.
Yep.
Saltzman,
Yep.
true, yeah. They have enough guidance. They need to, and the kids are good enough to where they're almost as good as Cole Russell. They just need a few more. They need to be seasoned a little bit more. They're really
Well,
young. They're
well, on that
super
point
young.
too, like I don't mean to sound like I'm holding this against Cole in a decision, but it does need to be considered as a factor. Is you've got a guy that has played for arena soccer teams, 3 different futsal clubs in the last 3 years, um, and now is in Lansing. And if that conversation was had, or if he showed up to a tryout, the thought process has to be okay. This guy is like going where, like, it's not like he's a long term piece for you historically.
Right.
I think he played for Olay for 2 years, maybe 3.
Two.
2, because he did not do that last year that they were in the NFPL. Would a reserve league for FCS or similar be beneficial or overkill? Brian, I think Futures kind of answers that question from a
Right.
reserve perspective because we'll be running age groups up until 16 years old, at which point you should either be playing in a practice squad or in the main roster with a top FCS side. So I think that when we started building Futures out,
Excuse my
that
dust.
was kind of the mindset is when we looked at what's been done in the past as far as trying to build that pathway. And I don't mean this to pick on, oh, behind the scenes, ignore
Sorry.
that.
Excuse my
No, you're good.
dust.
No, you're good. I'm just joking. But if you guys look at like Rising Stars that NFPL did, that was only for U19, and that is a ton of overlap. Like if those U19 players are really futsal players, they should probably already be playing in a reserve squad. To
Yeah.
me. So when we built Futures, we wanted to make sure it was different and there was no overlap, and that's why we focused on kids. So you get that 8-year-old age group all the way up to 16, and then they have a clear pathway to get to that FCS first team, as long as they stick with it. So they still need to stick through it through high school and all those distractions that come along with, hormones, testosterone, and better things to do, or other sports or whatever it is. But
Mhm.
at least now there is a clear pathway within FCS from the time you're a kid. Ooh,
Ooh.
I don't think. I think that was Nascimento. Nascimento? Did I say his name right? I'm still practicing
Nascimento?
my name.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think he expected that to come through the crowd. It kind of bounced off his shins. He was in the absolute right place, and that's why you need to be there, though.
Right. Back post.
Nascimento.
To the futures, it makes me wonder. Like, I don't know if we'll see it immediately, but I'm really curious to see to 5 years down the road. Do these kids can take that magic and take that excitement with them over that many years? Because I really feel like as a young player, like playing football, for example, you're looking forward to your senior year, right? Winning state. That's like the one of the crowning achievements, because not a lot of people go on and play college ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But having that crowning achievement to actually make it to first team, like that feel like kind of that the uprights in front of you, having that goal in front of you, and having it be a real reality. I wonder,
Well, and that's the other thing is even in that time period, Luke, that you're talking about, like we're not going to be in a position where we can pay players or there's that big
No.
contract payout, whereas other big sports offer that still. So I think we'll still see drop off.
Well, that's why I kind of equated it to. Damn, holy moly!
Got back
that's
just in
why
time for that.
that's why I equated it to high school mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, those high school years are still going to be tough for that reason because there's going to be more lucrative sports to chase.
Sure.
So if you're remotely good at something else, you're probably going to chase it instead of futsal. Does Michigan high school still have that ridiculous rule where futsal is not totally different sport than soccer?
I think so.
I'll be honest with you, Brian. I do not know the intricacies of that 100%, but I do know enough to know that we cannot have our season overlap the high school seasons if we want those kids to have an opportunity to participate. So when we looked at and then the other thing too, Brian, I know you're in Ohio and like me, in Ohio, boys and girls high school soccer runs at the same time. They're both fall sports. But in Michigan and Illinois, which is where there's other teams that participate in our league next year, boys soccer runs in the fall, girls soccer runs in the spring. So when you see what happened with the debacle of how kind of the NFPL women's division failed and how their final was kind of played behind closed doors, the reason for that was because they didn't plan for that spring girls soccer, and because it was so heavily, because the rosters across the entire league were so heavily reliant on high school girls, it was a problem. They had to rush that final and just jam it through real quick before they lost all those kids. So we've already planned for that. We've learned from that mistake. And so that's why we had already announced when we announced the women's division that final would be, I believe, March 7th next year. Or I guess, yeah, next year. Because we know we need to beat that timer before those girls have to be purely committed to high school soccer. And that was where the big failure was last time, was that wasn't proactively planned for. Now, like I said, I'm in Ohio. That's not a problem here. So you got to know the rules state to state. You got to be really familiar with the high school rules state to state. And I am not familiar enough yet. I'm still working on that, but I do know enough to know that, Chicago House, our Michigan teams, like they got to be able to participate in that final prior to a certain date. Otherwise, they're going to lose a bunch of their rosters. So we've already planned for that. I can't remember if it was because of futsal and soccer being too similar by those states' rules, or if it was because they can't be participating on another team at the same time they're doing a high school sport. There's like because Ohio has some of that too, where like you can't be on multiple teams depending on what you're doing sometimes. It's weird. Little impromptu timeout on the court here.
I think
Robert
Dameron
got hurt,
took a hit.
so it looks like
he
they're
took a
throwing.
hit.
Are they throwing
he's done?
Thomas in?
Ooh, they took him off?
To a point, it looks like they got Dono in a kit, in a penny, in a bib. He's not walking off the court because I think he's trying to stay in.
Looks like they're messing with the wraps on his hands. That could be not so great for futsal. Okay, he's coming back.
They only brought one keeper. All right, good deal. He's back. Good.
Yeah, you don't want to see him hurt. know for a fact that the OHSAA specifically states that futsal is a different sport than soccer for coaching and teammate purposes.
Yeah, that's a great loophole that Ohio high schools don't take. Ohio school coaches don't take enough advantage of. Like that's a super underutilized rule in my opinion in Ohio. Like it is specific, just like Brian said. The way the law is in Ohio under the High School State Association, like you can play futsal and you can play with your high school coach as your coach. Like that's something you can't play soccer in the off season for a certain time period with your coach. It cannot be organized, but futsal you can. And I am shocked by how little that's utilized, particularly in my area. I don't know if maybe in Southern Ohio it's different, but in Northeast Ohio anyway, I only see a handful of coaches actually taking advantage of that rule. And I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't. Why? I mean, other than time and not getting paid for that time as a high school coach, but like, why wouldn't you take advantage of that rule and build up your team and build up your pedigree if you could?
I'm interested in digging into our rules in Idaho.
Yeah, and it's different state to state. Like I've had this conversation with I've had a parallel conversation with Steve McGettigan at Futsal Focus, and he could not understand why we have not in the United States, why someone hasn't found a way to create a business around building up futsal in all these public schools.
Right.
You know, there's got to be a business model there somewhere where you can crowdfund in the beginning or use it as like a nonprofit to introduce futsal as curriculum. And I think what a lot of people in other countries don't understand is we're talking about a country's rules and practices difference compared to another country. There are going to be 50 different sets of rules if you try and do that here on how you play that game. And I think it's too much. I think it's too much for one person to manage for it to be any kind of business venture.
What a lot of non-Americans, like Europeans, don't understand is that a state here is like a country there.
Yeah. I've been talking to like Ramon at Chicago House has been helping catch me up on the high school rules in Illinois. Mm-hmm. I've dealt enough with people in Michigan to kind of loosely know the rules enough that I can stay out of trouble. But yeah, you got to really, really do your research if you want to actually know it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually at fault there. That's someplace I need to work on.
Well, especially those
high school to me actually host an annual futsal tournament on President's Day. Oh, that's nice. See, that's a smart way to do it. Yep. And then you're filling up the gym and possibly selling tickets. It's potential revenue for the high school if you really want to work it that way. That's good. We need more of that.
I'm super interested why my school won't consider futsal in the spring because the gym is empty.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is if that gym's empty. Because you got volleyball in the fall probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basketball's winter always, so. Mm-hmm. All right.
And futsal is like a great soccer alternative for small schools.
Yeah, that's true. I a lot of times find that there's anxiety with the small schools about splitting up their athletes any more than they're already split.
That's where I'm at
because
with
it's a
our
smaller
school.
Player pool.
Yeah. They're like player pool. I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
What's interesting about that is colleges find a way to use that to their advantage. They do the opposite. Like these community colleges, like where we're playing in now with RUSA, NAIA colleges, like they find a way to find places where they can compete where they're different from somebody else because they have to be different to survive. Right. They're never going to compete with a D1 school on anything, so why force it? Find a different avenue. That was what was so interesting about Westcliff picking up futsal when they did.
Yep.
Shame it's not still an active program.
Right.
Great play. 2 great saves. Oh, what a vacuum. Vamos. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. Exactly, Brian.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. So Futsal Factory's first lead of the game.
Interesting. Let's see what happens.
Pretty good crowd reaction to that. Do they have a lot of traveling fans to Phoenix, Chandler?
I don't know.
They cut in. Oh, Bruce hyping the crowd up. Okay, yep. I was gonna say there's no way they're taking people from Ann Arbor there. Uh-oh. I'll say, with the exception of that moment, it's been all Bruce in the second half.
Right. It's crazy to me that they capitalized. And they're flying.
They haven't had like they haven't had enough quality opportunities on goal, I don't think. And Robert's been great. But they've really controlled the run of play, if nothing else. There's that pivot play. They're looking to play off of him.
Look at him, like,
boom.
Just a gravitational pull. Like the whole team just went, and you got the 2 layoffs off that. I like that play, man. I don't know what it is. It's just, it looks good to me.
Nascimento was complaining about not getting that pass, but the minute he didn't get it, he should have sprinted. He would have had a goal.
Yeah, back post was wide.
Need to be more selfless there. Coway made his decision. It's time for you to move.
Fouls are sitting at 1 apiece deep in the game. Holy moly.
That's going to be a bet for Bruce, because they can up the physicality if they want to at this point.
Right.
You've got room to breathe on those fouls.
Unless they're not keeping track of them.
That's possible. I don't know. The fact that that's on the in-game or in-building the clock makes me feel a little more confident in it.
Right.
Pretty good flow overall.
And they got a ref sitting right on the machine right there.
Huh. Tall guy. Number 9 for FIFA. Ooh. It's a dangerous place for there to be a free kick. What do you think, Luke? You think your boys are gonna build on this? You're gonna predict correctly on this game?
Hoping so. I mean,
Glad this isn't part of the predictions league. I might have lost.
when I picked Futsal Factory, I didn't expect a blowout, but I definitely expected them to win.
Yeah.
So who knows?
By the way, Brian, your potentially valuable prize. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to work on something a little more custom to you.
Potentially valuable prize. Brian, did you end up winning?
No, he got second, but I won, so I felt bad. Like it felt fixed. The guy that put it together won. I'm like, this looks weird. I'm gonna at least give a prize to somebody.
Rigged.
So I told Brian, I said, look, I get the bragging rights, but you'll get the prize.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Jared Wilson just standing on his head.
Dude, yeah, he's been a big reason why this is a 1-goal game. Him and Robert have put on a showcase today.
Yep. Here's my question.
Alaskan native. He's like, man, I want to make sure it's never cold again. I'm moving to Arizona.
Is Ubasuku at the final? Over under.
Over under? Question. I actually don't know.
Ooh, that looks nasty. During the break, I'm gonna run that back. I'm gonna check it out again. Cole's on the ground.
He's become kind of injury prone in the last couple of years.
He's up.
He had that broken leg.
Yep.
That was awful.
Oh, that was terrible.
And then the concussion this year that had him out for a couple games. Now, I don't know if he was actually out for those games or unavailable for the semifinal and final, but if he had a concussion that bad, it had him out for 4 or 5 weeks. And ooh, not a bad play.
Ooh.
Playing off of Callaway. That's the thing about Callaway. When you were talking about that pivot style that Bruce plays, Luke, is like he's a big, strong guy. So like that's someone you can play off of.
Right.
He
does a good job laying it off too.
Yeah.
D just sits right in front of the goal, takes up this. Well, you gotta get body position on that, man.
Duck's got the best of him on that one.
Mm-hmm. Waddled on by.
Come on now.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
This is interesting. Slowing the game down a bit. And Dameron's going to take those shots from the outside there like that all day long. They need to find a way to get back to the middle. You're not going to beat a goalie of his caliber very often from that angle.
You got to whip that ball across the front of the goal.
Yeah, hope for some ping pong or pinball or whatever other sport you can think of with a ball that bounces in crazy directions. When you got a guy as big as strong as Callaway, if you can find him in the middle again, go for it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Futsal Factory timeout. That's interesting.
Last time they'd called timeout, they scored a goal.
Ever since they scored, this game's kind of been a scramble. I don't feel like either team's really had an actual handle on it.
Right.
Kind of created some chaos, which is interesting. I'm gonna have to rework my watch party thumbnail if we're gonna be using it this often. 3D glasses I used during the eclipse. Those are actually eclipse glasses that I edited. Year-old thumbnail. Don't be so lazy, man. Come on.
It's almost like you've not had anything else to do for a while.
Yeah, isn't that weird? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
We've had some real. I was saying this earlier, and I don't think I really truly highlighted everything that's going on right now. Like we got a really good run of futsal right now. The AFCON, like we talked about,
right?
This final for US futsal at least is interesting. We've got CONCACAF starting this coming week, and then the week after that we have Champions League. Champions League semifinal and final will be the first week of May. So
Copa
Lib's coming up at the same time, I believe, as well. I think there's some overlap there, if I remember correctly.
Oof.
So depending on the timing of those games, maybe I'll just go live and see who joins me.
Oh man.
Maybe we don't even do anything official. Maybe we just pop up the recording button and see who shows up.
I love Copa Lib. One of my favorite competitions.
My favorites. Yeah, mine too.
Oh, what a touch.
Okay.
And if they scored off that, I was going to be like, holy moly.
Imagine. One. Whoa! I did not expect that.
Oh my goodness.
I know I'm not a commentator for this game, but kind of feels like a commentator's curse. I was just kind of knocking the shot from that angle, and then And then that one went in.
That's 2 from the exact same spot this half.
Yeah, what am I thinking? Should have said that.
Timeout, Bruce are coming up. Whoa, maybe not.
Retracted? Possibly?
Maybe.
They're kind of doing an impromptu timeout during their celebration, I think.
I think they're getting resolved for the rest of this game, man.
So 4 minutes, 20 seconds. This is a good match. This is a good little match. A little back and forth.
One of the tighter finals I've seen in a couple years. That's a foul.
Yeah, once it was out of the... Huh. So I think I was only half listening, guys, at halftime because we were talking ourselves, but I think I heard the commentator say there's going to be an announcement along with the awards after this game. So Luke, I don't know what you have time for, but I plan on staying live until their stream dies. And then we'll just do a live reaction if there is some kind of announcement, if it's anything of any merit.
My family abandoned me to Boise, so I'm good.
Oh, what's going on in Boise tonight?
My daughter's at prom, and then I think the wife took the other kids out to go buy a book or something. My daughter's out of books, so I think she wants a new book.
I had picked up last year a book by Jamie Fahey out of England on futsal, and I got through the first chapter and put it down and forgot about it, and then I took it with me when I went to Orlando a couple weeks ago and started it back up again. So I need to keep that running.
Is it good?
I'm in the first couple chapters, and it's more like personal anecdotes that kind of lead up to certain like statistic. Like, it's interesting. Like Jamie has an interesting life experience, and he lives in a place that's very soccer rich. You know, he's from Liverpool. Mm-hmm. So a lot of soccer culture. It's a melting pot itself of all kinds of different cultures.
Right.
So the part of the book I'm in now is him kind of building all this up into what makes futsal so special. It's like I've seen a melting pot area like Liverpool and why and how this could be special. And I haven't read the rest of the book, but I know that in a lot of the rest of the book he goes other places, including referencing some things in the United States, as well as in the big futsaling countries. So I'm really curious to see where the story builds from there into what the rest of the book is. So it's been an interesting read. I've enjoyed it so far. He's a writer for one of the big newspapers out of there. I think the Telegram.
Oh wow.
Oh, is this something?
Oh,
he feels like he was fouled.
Is that a PK?
I didn't see enough of it. I don't think it was. I think that was just a bit of a scramble, I think.
Well, timeout. Now they took the timeout. Damron was on the ground, and he wasn't like sliding forward, and then he fell down. So I'm like, how can that really be contact? I don't know. So Gerard asks, what do you think the announcement could be? Well, we'll do that.
I don't know. It could be. I know NFPL has worked for a long time to try and expand into other markets. Maybe they found that partner. I know that they've, behind closed doors, tried to force an Open Cup style tournament that hasn't come to fruition. I shouldn't say forced, because if it was forced, it would have already happened. But it's been an aspiration, I should say, for a while that hasn't really been really prioritized. I don't know. Maybe they have some expansion teams they're ready to talk about. They did hint at adding more regions during halftime. Oh, maybe. It's something they've been working on for a while. I mean, at this point, they've kind of burned out everybody in the Midwest, so the only chance they're going to have to expand is to go out to other regions. So that'll be curious. I'm curious.
Ooh, yellow card.
Ooh, yeah, gotta be.
That was heavy on Dono. What benefit to other regions to join NFPL? I mean, at amateur level, I don't know what your benefits are going to be. Whether your YouTube count, I don't know. Oh,
So, let's take the Southwest and what they find is important, because I know from talking to them what they find important. It's the appearance of truly being national. That's it. They want to look like they're playing in a truly national league. That's why they do this. That's why they spend a league fee for nothing. So that they can say they've had this one game that was cross regions that makes it a national contest. When they were doing it on their own, they felt like they weren't playing for enough.
but we all know what the national travel is going to do to your club. It's going to sink it. Unless
I'm telling you right now, if MIFA wouldn't have played, they've got a very deep squad and always had compared to Cadence and Inter. If by some snafu, Inter Detroit or Cadence would have made it through to this final, the final wouldn't have happened. Guaranteed. Because neither of those teams have the money to fund this trip. And this is going to be very taxing financially on MIFA. This is a big ask. That's why we're taking the approach of the tours, and we're going to send a production. We're going to send 4 people to you instead of having an entire 14-team roster try and come to us. Because we're trying to support financially these clubs by taking as much burden off of them as possible.
Well, take a look at any other league that has a way more developed, like, amateur level league, and their travel they do it, but man, it's at a very steep cost. You know what I mean? Like, they're raising tons of money, they have tons of sponsors, and still they barely can pay their players. Like, look at MASL. Unless you're on some of the top teams, you're not earning anything. You're doing it for mostly funsies.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole budget goes to flying them all over the country.
Well, and even then, some of those top MASL teams are really struggling. You look at a St. Louis Ambush, it's been around since the 70s, and they're really financially strapped right now. They might go away.
Right. It's hard.
There's a lot of it's just it's all very flimsy.
You got to be really, really seriously financially sound to travel the U.S. and play a sport every day in, day out.
That's why you see so many teams that only show up for tournaments too.
Mm-hmm. Tournament teams. That's a common thing in the futsal community.
Time.
Yep.
Travel one time, one cost.
Save all your pennies for that one tournament. I guarantee this
tie.
goes
We'll see
overtime.
2 5-minute halves.
Yeah, I guarantee this is going to end in a tie. Whoa.
MASL 3W only does regional play. Yes. Kind of similar to like NPSL or even I think USL 2 kind of does a similar model if I remember right. Where they keep it as regional as possible until they get to a tournament play. That's one thing that's interesting with MLIS, which is like a offshoot, like a less professional version of MASL. I'd say they're probably at an MASL 2 level as far as quality. In some places, maybe 3. Is this it? So they did the same thing, Brian, where they hosted in a central location for their final. But they have a couple teams that are outliers to everybody else that did have to deal with travel throughout the season. So most of the teams are based in the Midwest. There's one in Lansing. There's one in Cleveland. There's 2 in Chicago. But then there's like an Omaha team and a Colorado team that's kind of random. And they had to travel. But their central location for the final was Cleveland at the Wolstein Center. and they did the women's final and the men's semifinal and final there. But yeah, then centralized it and brought everybody in one place to try and at least cut down some of that.
"30 seconds."
36 seconds.
Did both teams use their timeouts?
Yes.
All right, here's a question for you, Gerard Ascani, if you're still in the chat. Do the timeouts reset in overtime?
I do not believe they do, unless Gerard knows differently. I know fouls don't reset too, so that's another.
They do not reset in overtime.
Fouls do not reset in overtime.
We're on 4 and 2 fouls, so 4 fouls for Brusa, 2 fouls for Futsal Factory, I believe. Is home first?
Yes.
Okay. 4 fouls Brusa, 2 fouls Futsal Factory. Uh-oh.
What is this? And a card?
5th foul. That's gotta be 5th foul.
Yeah, it
Did he
is.
just call 5th foul?
Referee's calling it now. Yep. 5th foul going into overtime, potentially going into overtime if this dangerous. I believe Eli said when it ends in a draw and goes to a shootout, everything resets.
Oof.
Big save from Robert there. Wow.
He's excited about it too, man. See, that'd be...
Watch back post here. Watch for a volley.
Jennifer, that's not... I don't like that. I wish it didn't reset. I would say timeouts, yes. But fouls, no. Timeouts, you can reset. Fouls, no.
I don't think fouls do.
He read the rulebook.
The rulebook might... Well, they make futsal changes to the rulebook every...
Uh-oh.
Wait.
What?
What's the foul for?
Oh. Oh, they're calling it. They're calling it on Barusa. They're giving them the 10-meter PK. They're giving them a PK with no time on the clock.
I don't understand that. I don't see what they saw there. Let me go back.
Russell. This is a game-winning shot right here.
I don't see the foul there. They both went straight up.
Are you reviewing it?
Yeah. I don't know about that. That looks soft.
Was that official down there by the play, or was he up the court?
Yeah, he was right in line with it, so he saw something he didn't like. And if this is how this game ends, that's actually kind of a shame. On crowd. Does Cole put it 800 feet above the... Oh, that's
wow.
interesting.
He rattled the top bar, man. That goal.
Wow, what a final. Oh, this is a script.
This is good stuff right here.
Who wrote this script?
Birmingham Futsal. Welcome in.
Hey, what's up? All right, I'm going into the NFPL chat for this one. I gotta ask. I see Matthew Aldrich in there. I'm gonna ask him if he wrote up this script.
Is Matt in there?
Yeah. Wow. Golden goal. I don't think so, David. I think it's 2 5-minute halves. I think regardless of scores. No timeouts allowed during extra time. Nice. Thanks for looking that up, Gerard. The only reason that would be different is if NFPL has a different set of rules from FIFA, but I think they follow FIFA guidelines. I'm 99% sure. Holy cow.
I showed my face in the NFPL stream. Oh no.
Funny. All right, so Mifa starts with the ball.
Wait, hold on. Isn't this technically the third half podcast? We're in the third half?
This is the third half.
Birmingham, see the comments above. The most high school associations classify futsal as soccer. This is inaccurate and lazy by administrators. It sure is. We fought in Alabama and won after 4 years. Nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're really lucky in Ohio. We don't have that problem. They right off the rip. They classified it as different. It started out in a sense that they just didn't address it at all. So we used that as a loophole for a while. It's like, oh, you guys don't mention futsal, so it must not matter. It's kind of almost like, hey, there wasn't a sign here that said no trespassing, so we were here.
Right.
You know?
David Fresca's no golden goal. This will be 2 5-minute halves. Or yeah, right? 2 5-minute halves.
Yep, 2 5-minute halves. Sir. Ooh. It should be following NFHS rules. Football's not even a part of NFHS. Cannot be called soccer. I like that.
Right. 100%.
Wow. They can't acknowledge it. Any state association must follow those regulations. That's interesting. Ooh. And the goalkeepers have been the stars today, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, man, and the woodwork.
Yeah, that's been the most critical save so far, is that crossbar.
Jared Wilson has stood on his head. Robert Dameron has played really well as well.
He's had some big saves. He hasn't had quite as many. St. John's High School, Michigan has an actual futsal team. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting.
So who do we have on the court for Futsal Factory? We have Dono, Cole,
Ducks.
9, and
No.
I don't see Ducks.
Yeah, he's on the bench.
Yeah, Ducks is on the bench. 13.
Oh, he's coming out now.
Yeah.
So Dono just subbed off. Cole just subbed off.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's interesting. You just took two big offensive movers on Futsal Factory off.
Got numbers.
Limak. Ooh.
Ooh.
We'll probably see a lot of that in this overtime. These guys are going to be gassed. They've been working their asses off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subs for Futsal Factory?
Yeah, they traveled well.
Yeah.
Normally teams are put in this position with this kind of expense. They have to travel light, but this is nice. They got two full lines. That's hard to do with this kind of distance geographically.
Right. I agree, Brian.
You always see Futsal added as an official. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. When Westcliff University picked it up, there was nearly got through. When Westcliff started doing their thing, there was rumor was there was a couple colleges in Ohio that were looking to join and kind of follow suit, as well as within that kind of same university size of Westcliff in California and in Texas. And then there was also some action down in Florida that had some like decent traction, but nothing happened. I'm not sure why. I'm not privy to why, but great little skill move there. Just ran out of court.
I had to change up my seating arrangement. Sorry, y'all. Man, he's shouting out the Mud Puppies tonight. Last I checked,
Jared kept that in play. It must have been a deflection. I didn't see through the fuzz. Let's see.
the Facebook page lives on.
What's that? Oh, it does. Look at that.
Facebook page lives on.
When was the last post?
Tell me
2022?
Tell me that the Futsal Factory logo is better than that Mud Puppy logo. That Mud Puppy logo is great. Dude, I love this. I don't
like either.
Hey, that's so good. The Mud Puppies. I love them. That's me.
I really don't like the Futsal Factory logo.
Ooh, I don't like that either.
It just looks
I'll
so.
agree with you there.
It looks like clip art to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it 100% does look like clip art.
And now that I know the city of Phoenix has the same eagle in their logo, it's like, okay, it's definitely clip art.
Somebody on Fiverr's getting paid.
Oh, counter to the counter. To the counter.
It's end to end, man. Gloom logo number 1. I will give a Gloom a
Yes.
huge shout. Gloom logo is good.
Logo is very good.
If you guys didn't know, I'm sporting the Gloom gear tonight.
Yes. Bloom definitely the best in NFPL and definitely one of my tops. Just in general. There's so much thought put into that logo, and that's what I like about it. And then it ties back to the community. That's important to me too when I'm looking at a logo. That's why I really like the innovation logo. That innovation logo, city logo is very clean. And every piece of it ties back to Akron in some way, which is awesome.
Okay, now don't take this the wrong way.
I won't.
Every time I see the innovation logo, I think Zelda.
Zelda? Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Like, what
Me
is
too.
it? The shield?
Yeah, yeah, or like the triangle on the hand.
Yeah.
I
It
just
is
like
cool,
that they're
though.
not doing a rubber theme.
No,
That's what
yeah,
everybody
exactly.
defaults to in Akron, and it's lazy.
It's great. I love it. Speaking of which,
I like that. I mean, I like the rubber stuff. I mean, that's Akron's identity. You got to own your identity in your city. But like we've had so many teams come and go that have leaned on that it's just like it's almost not special anymore. If that makes sense.
Akron Triforce FC.
Oh man, we got to make a Zelda tifo now for innovation. We should design that on a stream or something.
Heck yeah.
And then I'll send it to. I think innovation got hooked up with Akron City, who's a USL2 side. They got hooked up with their supporters group and have been talking to their leader of that. So I don't know if we'll see a supporters group culture in these innovation games or not. Like if there'll be some crossover from the soccer one. I hope so. I would love to see that. We'll keep your fans warm in the winter. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see if we see our first supporters group in FCS. That'd be sweet. As you guys know, that's kind of where I started getting this love for all this, is through going through supporters group culture with the original Akron futsal team. And so I would love to see that come back. There's great fan culture in FCS already.
I honestly think Innovation City is going to be one of the first supporter groups. They got fans coming out the nose already.
They got some good stuff happening.
I don't want to sign in. Oh, there you are.
There was me. Featured.
Okay, so now stop sharing that one. So we saw that.
Bobo.
That's what it reminds me of. I don't know.
Wait, let me. Oh, yeah. Yep, there it is.
I don't.
Field.
Maybe I'm out of my mind. Maybe I'm out of my mind.
It's that triangle, man. It gets you.
Yeah, it's gotta
And
be
then the
something.
nail kind of looks like the arrow at the bottom a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I see it. I see where you're coming from. Oh, imagine a Zelda tifo.
Put that on a shield.
Yeah. Columbus Futsal's occasional support for the new 5-6. Yeah, Columbus Futsal had an awesome fan base, like really active. I remember when the Akron Vulcans had their first ever home game. That game was hosted during a USYF regional tournament, so that everybody was in town. So all the parents of the kids, Columbus Futsal, stayed for our game to watch the men's team, and that was really special. Like, there was a really good crowd. There was banter between the supporters group and some of their fans during the game, annoying each other a little bit. But that was the start of it all, and that really made things really interesting. Wolf's Ridge 12. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Columbus fans were awesome. I wasn't around for when FC Columbus had that overlap with them, Brian, but they had a great fan base. It was always really loud.
They had the panda.
Uh-oh. Wow.
And what was this thing they used to? What was the thing they used to chant? And it sounded like boo. It wasn't boo. In Columbus.
Oh, they do the Ronaldo
Sue.
Oh, this is
Nachito
interesting.
Panda. Never forget.
That's right, Nachito.
Who? There it is. Who?
Yeah, it was the old Ronaldo. They still do that with their youth academy. When something big happens, Dante still gives that real deep, low. I love it. This is indirect, I think.
Ooh.
He caught himself off balance there. He was a little late on his run, but that was a great set piece.
That was
good
a
for him to
great
get a
set
piece
piece.
on it. So they called Robert for a double pass back or a pass back and him picking it up.
Really?
Penalty kicks stress me out. I hope we don't keep doing that.
I kind of think we might.
This has been pretty balanced so far. I have that on a Columbus Futsal scarf. Oh, that's sweet.
I wish I would have got one of those, man.
I got way too many soccer scarves, but they're all older now. I need to up my scarf game. Last scarf I added to the collection was the Vulcans one, and that was back in 2020. So I got it in 2019.
Good little toe poke.
Yeah, those are dangerous.
Man, those things can whip all over the place. Jared Wilson standing on his head again.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to see if Columbus will come to our Akron tour. I got to reach out to Melissa still and talk to her about that and see if it's possible, but I'd love to see them come back for the tour.
I miss those guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you didn't know,
back to him. Oh.
This is how we met Brian Reese for the first time. Is he used to work with Columbus, stream their games.
Yeah. Man, this camera situation's frustrating.
It's pretty rough.
I expected better from Brewster than this.
Like I said, this new facility doesn't have the best internet. The other facility had better internet.
Whew. And these Southwest watch parties kill me sometimes.
I was going to say, it's like midnight for you.
Past my bedtime.
Man, we were raging on the championship night, man. We were out, I was out with Gerard until like 2 a.m.
Were you really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are better than me. I used to be able to do that all night, multiple nights, but these kids have made me soft.
They do that to you, man.
I'm a big softie now.
If I have to get up in the morning, man, I'm like, well, I'm bad. Like right now, I'd be like, I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, we had a very active day with the kids today too, so I've like, which is what we like to do. So I've spent a lot of my energy already by the time I get on these streams. I saw early Columbus streams in late 2021. Thought I could do better. I reached out, and the rest is history. That's so cool.
That's cool.
That's all it takes. Somebody being brave and bold enough to reach out. That's how this all started for me.
Yep.
And with
That's
Luke,
what
right?
That's what I did with Ole. I was like, it was a.
Can we help?
It was a Jenga stream. It was a Jenga stream, and they were in Cincy.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was on 11. Ooh, it was rough. Ooh.
No way. That's gonna be a PK for 10 meter.
And we agreed that the fouls don't reset, right?
Yeah. So this is the 7th foul, I suppose. Bull looking for redemption. Yes.
Man, he rocked that top bar last time.
Jeez Louise.
Hey!
That time he got it.
Redemption.
I think that's a hat trick for him today.
Is it?
I think he had a brace in the first half, if I remember right.
You know what we need to do is we need to get little like printouts for score sheets.
Ooh, we should. Go up a Google Doc or something.
All right. We just need to talk to Gerard. Gerard. He's got that already done.
Numbers, right? Is it numbers on Apple?
Hey.
Is that what it's called? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm out of practice. I haven't used Apple for that stuff since college.
Whew.
Man, I'll tell you, Bruce has had a lot of squandered opportunity in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Could easily be 6-5 right now, 7-5.
Right.
I feel like Futsal Factory only had one like bad miss where it was like, I bet he wishes he had that back.
Yeah.
The rest have been, fair.
Their fifth attacker.
They have to at this point, I think.
I
Attacker
don't
needs
know.
to
I
move
mean,
up.
do you go? Well, I guess you do.
At the same time, Jared's been playing so lights out.
Right.
Go. Oh, great. Instant!
What?
Instant!
You gotta be kidding me.
Holy cow! What is this game? Wow.
One of the best futsal games I've seen.
Definitely one of the more entertaining ones, that's for sure. Holy moly.
Oh, he's signaling mop. Oh, I was like, what is he doing? I was like, shoveling something?
Look at that. He's sitting on the bench with his hands behind his back, behind his head. Yeah, if I'm the crowd, look, you got 2 minutes to give me everything you got now. I know it's late,
Right.
but come on now. We're gonna. You guys are gonna make me sit through BKs. They stress me out, man. I don't like watching them. I certainly don't like being a part of them.
With someone equivalent said the equivalent to a shootout is to settle a game by doing a dunk contest.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially in futsal.
It's just a rocket and you pray.
It's a coin flip for sure. People on their feet in Chandler.
I mean, they're hype.
Dude, let's go. Great game. Oh, Brian, this scarf is awesome. I just saw your text. Woo. Love it. That That is cool. Imagine. Back post was wide open on that one. Jeez Louise.
Ooh, slipped him.
Little play.
Oh, he didn't keep it in. I think Kawhi's a little stressed right now.
And maybe a little. Oh! Ducker.
Damron's down.
Watch that again. Commentator saying he thinks that's a handball.
Oh, he's cramped.
Ooh, was that a handball?
Did you rewind it?
Yeah, Drew's arm is really high on that. And it's hard to tell if I can kind of more or less do a frame by frame here. Ooh, I don't know, Luke. I'm not convinced that didn't hit him in the chest. That might have caught his arm. That's interesting.
You know he'll never tell.
Good to be the king.
That's right.
That's interesting. It happens so fast. Even when I play this slow and try and like click through the frames, it's hard to tell for sure. But like he slides through with his arm way up like this.
Yeah.
And then he's coming down, and as his arm's coming back down, that's when the deflection happens. So it's hard to tell if it's hitting him in the chest or if he's swatting it away. It doesn't look intentional, but it looks like he hit it.
I looked away on that.
Great lift, just a little too far.
Oh, back post was on.
Another great scoop. Just a little too far. I love those little lifts down the line like that.
Little shin pass.
Yeah. Well, if you get that, you get your like outside toes, your pinky toes under it, and just do a quick lift. It's a great little scoop just to get over the knees. Those ones are a little higher for what they're doing, but same principle. Oh, is this a shot?
Oof. You know, one thing I've noticed in my passing game, I use the toe poke, and you catch people off guard.
Yeah, those little cheeky like blasts through there.
Because like the timing on a toe poke is so much different than winding your foot up and passing with your instep.
Yeah.
But man, you can be inaccurate if you're not careful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Toe poke takes a lot of concentration. Woo. And
we're going PKs, baby. We're going PKs, baby.
Oh. Man, fans are getting their money's worth tonight. Holy smokes.
Yeah, they are.
And on a PK shootout, I kind of tip the favor in that towards Futsal Factory. I think Robert's.
You think so?
I think Robert's going to be a better PK defender than Jared.
I don't.
Jared's bigger.
I go 100% the other way because Jared's bigger. He takes up more of the goal.
Yeah. You know, I guess I'm thinking back to when Robert was on the U.S. team and he had those PK. Those were from the 10-meter mark, though, I guess. So he was able to step up. Yeah, that's true. So maybe Jared does have the advantage here.
Because if you're talking,
I was thinking a 10-meter saves.
If you're talking run of play, Damron has better agility and footwork and mobility, but man, Jared Wilson just takes up so much of the goal.
And he's been like cat-like tonight, for the most part. Wow. Intense.
Okay, so are we taking 5 PKs no matter what? How does the futsal PK work out? I forget.
Same as outdoors. So if they go 3-0 or 4-1,
Yeah.
then they would just kill it once it's mathematically impossible to keep going.
Okay. But it's 5, right?
But yeah, and then they'll keep going until after 5, same way.
Speaking of shootouts, did you ever have a chance to watch that Portland KC shootout where the guy hit both posts?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez, don't stand next to that guy in a lightning storm.
How in the world do you even do that? Both posts and not in, out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
That was insane.
How is that possible? The amount of juice he had behind that.
They even made a bar out in the wings. It's called the double post.
Did they really?
Yeah. So you can go get a beer at the double post.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
Futsal Factories. Wait. So penalty takers, do they have to be on the floor, or can they just pick anybody from the roster?
I don't know the answer to that.
Gerard.
Well, at least one of them wouldn't be, right?
But the thing is if you have on the fly subs, like, it doesn't make any sense. Because like, don't people in soccer sub people in to take penalties?
Yeah, that's a part of it for sure. Like some of the strategies you're getting towards the end. Man, get on the best camera and get up close. Something. What do you guys think? Who's gonna be in better shape during this?
I know my pick is Futsal Factory, but man, I didn't think PKs. If it goes PKs, I say Brusa. I think Kayleen's gonna have an aneurysm down there in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally a coin flip. You just gotta pick a direction and hope it hits you. Futsal PKs are kind of ridiculous. Robert got a piece of that. He thought he saved it.
I'm gonna turn off the score bug because they're ahead of us.
The score bug is?
The score bug's a couple of minutes ahead of us.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Because they already had 1-1 up before that one went in.
Yeah, Kayleen's going to be updating that quickly, I bet. She's stressed. Big save!
Boy!
Oh! All right, that's huge. Holy moly.
And Dammer match.
Nope. Not this time. I wish the PK spot was further back. I agree, David. It's kind of a ridiculous exercise in futsal to even have a PK. There's so many rule changes in futsal. I'm surprised this hasn't been addressed yet. What's that? Sorry? Another one! Whoa!
Oh!
Wish they had instant replay.
He was skipping and kicked it with his foot.
You literally, that was pretty. I think that was.
I mean, the save, the save.
The save. They all count the same. They all don't count
right.
the same. The holy smokes! Literally, if he would have skipped the opposite direction, that's a goal. It just so happened that back foot was good.
Right.
But hey, you did see he stopped the movement of that leg, so he did react to it a little bit. It's just these PKs are so ridiculous. Ooh, Robert with a big save.
Hey.
Wow.
Damron with 1 save and Jared with 2. Dang.
Jared's got 2 saves. This is PK number 4. Another save!
Oh my gosh.
What is going on? I did not expect this many saves.
This is nuts.
3 PK saves. Bruce has just got to score. Right?
Yeah, if they score here, it's over.
Yeah. Because mathematically, that's it.
Yeah.
The amount of pressure on both these guys. Holy cow. Another big save.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, this game will not end.
Jake's like, I just want to go to bed.
No, this is good. This is good, but holy crap. This is...
Oh, they have to score this.
Yeah, now they have to score. So there's still an immense amount of pressure here. And then if they score, Rusa could still score and win.
Yes.
So Robert still has a lot of pressure on him, even if this goes in. Whoa! Did Jared save that, or was that a miss?
That was a miss. That was a complete
That was
miss.
just a miss, right? Jared picked the right direction. I think that's our cameraman. I think he just abandoned his post. There's a lot of shaking on the camera, and then a dude going running in there. That's awesome. No, that's it though. That's good. That's that fan passion that makes this all special. Rusa, wow.
Dude, he's still on the floor. He is so bummed he shanked that.
That was not probably not how he wanted that to go.
No.
Yeah, shout out Matt Aldridge. He's already got the champions post out. That's good for him.
Matt's on it, man. Matt's
Matt's a good dude. Big fan of Matt's work. Oh, our old buddy Omar Labicki's in the NFPL chat.
Wait, what?
Worst PKs ever, he says.
Oh, good lord.
Biggest critic. It's actually kind of ridiculous. For being an MASL too, he sure does find himself an expert.
Bro, missed the goal. You step up and take a PK.
Typical. Typical.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what insecure people do.
Yeah, right.
I thought that was very exciting. I mean, that was a big play by both goalies during that PK.
Jared just unbelievable.
Wow, yeah, he is the MVP for me for sure.
For sure. Very
Yeah,
crazy
Brian,
game.
super crazy game. If you were a fan of either of these teams, this was this aged you probably 5-10 years. If you're a fan of either of these teams, that's a stressful game to watch because it was very good, very tight, high stakes.
Yeah, David, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, David. We're gonna hang around. We're gonna see what this announcement's all about and see the awards, and then we'll call it for the night. And I will save my energy for the CONCACAF women's watch parties we do starting Tuesday. I think that I don't know what time the Monday game is.
I just had that up.
Let's look at that while everybody's kind of sorting things out in Chandler. Matches. Yeah, the play-in on Mondays at 1 p.m., so I'll be at work. That's not going to work for me, but here, you want me to share my screen? Should we show this probably?
Yeah. I'll force my students to watch women's futsal.
So the play-in, Honduras and Nicaragua. Costa Rica and Canada kick off the official contest. That'll be a really good game. Cuba and Panama. Guatemala and Mexico. So day one is mostly Group A. Yeah, so, look at that, Luke. So it's 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. on the Tuesday.
Oh.
Wait, where's the U.S. game here? Didn't they say the 29th there was a 7 p.m. game?
I think that's what this post said. This post says
they're missing one of the games on here. They don't have all the games.
because it's play-in winners versus USA at 1700, which is 5 o'clock.
I wonder if
it's a dependent on the play-in winners. So 1400 is Cuba, Panama. 1700 is play-in winners versus USA. 2020 Guatemala versus Mexico. It's all military time. So what is that?
You're missing a bunch of games on this. Like they're only showing teams playing twice.
Well, go figure for CONCACAF.
Must be incomplete. Because they're only showing 2 games for Canada. Well. And only 2 games for... So it's got to... You know what it is? It's all that Group B. So they must not be uploading the other games until they know the winner of that play-in.
Yeah.
Must be what they're doing. So every day should probably be 1-4-7-10. 1-4-7-10 for kickoffs for Eastern Standard Time. So if there's going to be 10 p.m. games, I'd be willing to stick around for those. I don't know if those games will be very good. Mexico, I don't know if that'll be very good. They really don't have a futsal scene. This Panama-Guatemala game would probably be decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hang around. Let's see. Let's see what it's
Guatemala
like.
men played really well.
Yeah. Well, Guatemala's hosting, so I expect them to do good things.
Right.
So it could be good. All right, cool. Let's see.
Are you talking about the Brian? Are you talking about the tour tournament in Akron?
Yeah, you know what? I remember you mentioned you'd be up in Cleveland, Brian. Are you doing an outdoor game up there? I think you said, right?
Oh, hey, cameraman.
Who you calling? Hey, who you calling? Oh, Brian, that's right. That's the is that the Australian football thing we were talking about? Right, they're moving the camera for the awards ceremony, or at least hopefully. Ohio Australian Football League. That's right. Yeah, that looked cool. That looked really cool. I've got a local rugby team too I've been trying to get back out to, but since I had the kids, it's been a little hard. When I had my first daughter, I'd take her with me when she was real little, because it was during her nap time, so she usually slept through the game, and I got to actually enjoy it. And then as she got a little older, as I would get excited, she didn't like the loud noises from Dad, so I had to kind of chill out. I don't know much about rugby, but I know when good things are happening, and it's good. It's easy to get hyped up and get excited about and cheer. So, and our local rugby team is really cool. Like, it's a rugby's kind of in a similar position in the United States as futsal. I feel like little more organized, to give them more credit than futsal. To a point that they have different divisions based on club size. It's all pretty much semi-pro amateur, but except for the very top. But it's a really cool infrastructure. It's a really cool culture in rugby. You know, like the Akron guys would have a potluck lunch after their games with the opposing team and all the fans.
Oh, that's
so
fun.
it was very community driven, you know, as in the sport community, which was really cool. And surprisingly less awkward than you'd expect after guys like literally trying to kill each other for 80 minutes and then like, hey, let's have lunch. All right. So that was always kind of cool. But yeah, it was really cool. It has a lot of parallels as far as their community and their passion to futsal, which I really gravitated to. And those guys, it was just fun. And the way, like, their games were free. So they didn't have much in the way of stands or anything. So you needed to bring a lawn chair, but it was BYOB as well, or bring food or whatever you wanted to do. So you just hung out and had a really, really good time. Oh, Jennifer, they stole your Sparkles idea. Dude, that's all Jennifer right there. They took inspiration from her for sure.
Quick, put up a poll for how many rights we get.
Oh my gosh, count them. Oh, we can't hear the mic well enough. Can you? Is it just me?
I'll turn mine up.
Ew.
It's pretty muffled.
Yeah, I don't lip read well enough for that. I'm not going to be able to. Gold foil all over the floor. I have no clue what you're talking about. No idea. If someone spilled gold foil on the floor, they should probably be fired.
I also heard there were struggles with the confetti cannons shooting the wrong way.
Did it really? Did one go the wrong way?
I heard like Caesar or someone shot their cannon the wrong way.
Shot theirs down? No, they didn't. Oh, I was wondering because I counted 3 in the video when I went back to watch the video. I'm like, where's the 4th one? I know we had 4.
Yeah. I think
I know.
said something.
Which Cesar? What do you know? Do you know which one it was?
I don't know. Like, you have to ask Juan, but someone I heard that grumbling and going around.
Oh, I hope it's I hope
That's
it's
so
a
funny.
Lio. That would crack me up.
We're gonna have to go back and watch the
He'd be a
video.
good sport about it. I'll text Juan when it's not so middle of the night.
It's a massive goalkeeper trophy. Woo!
You want to know why?
Why?
So, one year, what's his name? Miguel got snubbed. Look at that little one too. What's that little baby one? Silver ball, I guess. But so Miguel got snubbed because they didn't want all Grand Rapids people winning all the awards.
Oh yeah.
And so they gave the Golden Glove to Robert Dameron, even though Miguel was like significantly more like further ahead as far as clean sheets and saves. So it was like a big controversy. Like somebody at Olay complained, and I think Miguel kind of complained. And so the next year he won it again. And so they gave him that huge trophy to make up for not giving him one the year before. So I guess now it's permanently that big. I don't know. That all kind of stems from some drama a couple years ago.
Did Ducks give himself a medal or a trophy?
Sure looks like it. Walked away with one, unless that's maybe from somebody who wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because if somebody from a team, well, I don't know who that would be, but because I couldn't hear who what the award was, but there's Lima.
Gerard, there's your man. There's your guy.
I wonder why they still have AMF logos on their kits.
Probably because they didn't change out.
Yeah, you know what? It looks like it's the old kits. The younger guys don't have them on there. They stacked it.
Yeah, there they are. The white and red bars. After further review, I found out number 8 was Micah Vinci.
Micah's one of the few people on the teams that I recognize by his face. So, like, I wasn't even paying attention to his number, otherwise I would have called that out. That's my fault.
That's him right there, isn't it?
That's him right there. Yep, that's Micah. Micah got a call up at the same time as Sammy. They were at that last camp together during the World Cup. But whatever the announcement was going to be, we're never going to be able to hear it on this microphone, I don't think.
Did he spray his hair silver?
He did. Oh, the swagger on this kid. Incredible. Future
He's
stud.
hyped.
Oh, he's like, let me lift this trophy.
Man, they're basking in it. Come on.
Yeah. Thanking the right people, though.
Right. I like how they get everyone involved.
Nice.
Good finish.
Yeah. Hey, good work, Brusa. They had a great season.
Yeah, congrats to Brusa.
Hey, I guessed right. Let's go.
You know, I felt like if Futsal Factory would have done it in a run of play, they could have.
Yeah.
But man, like once it was PKs, I was like, they're not gonna win. No way.
Yep. So that was a
Oh.
Golden Boot Award. It's going to
Okay.
Colorado. That's why I took it
Yeah.
away.
Good to see this youth culture, man. I'm always hyped to see kids out there enjoying themselves, looking up to these guys, participating. This reminds me of like the Grand Rapids stuff and the Jenga stuff.
Yeah.
You know, good stuff. Super good
Lansing
stuff.
too.
Yeah, Lansing. Yeah.
Maybe there isn't an announcement then. Huh. I mean, unless we missed it because the mic just wasn't picking up. That's a challenge of a mic in the building compared to over
Yeah,
the
but the
stream.
thing is
It's not
like-
quite perfect.
If he made an announcement, it was really short. Home run.
About that, but it was a good game. The game itself was very, very good.
Yeah. Good stuff. Entertaining to watch, entertaining to be a part of. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's a really good entertaining game of futsal. So that's good. That's
Yep.
what we need to see. We need to see more of that. So that'll give us a little bit of a fix until the announcement is we'll see them next season. Oh, it might have been during halftime, Brian. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Maybe that was meant to be their announcement. Which, I mean, if that's the case, that's a nothing announcement. Because they've had ambitions of expanding for years and haven't been able to do it because of the turnover in the Midwest. It's scared other regions away from participating.
Right.
So they really need to figure out a way to own the backyard if they're going to sell that to everybody else. And I know that from talking to the same people. I've gotten that firsthand from some teams that have been approached and said, yeah, we're looking at what's going on and we just don't believe that it's worth getting involved, and then having to cover that expense and the travel through their own region is not appealing to some teams, let alone, get to a playoff potential where they got to really travel. Does someone from New York or the East Coast really want to invest at this point in potentially having to travel all the way to the Southwest for a playoff game? The answer is probably no. And I think that that's evident in USFF, where Atlantic City is their biggest tournament, and that's not even their national tournament. So that proves that people aren't interested in that much travel, which is why we at FCS have been hesitant to expand that way,
Right.
and not stay local, as it's clear to us so far that people aren't ready for that. When I tried to do a Super Cup and bring teams to Lansing to do kind of a national contest and bring better quality before we started the regular season, the pushback I got because of travel was actually very eye-opening to me, because these are all people that told me they wanted something bigger and something more national, and I tried to build it for them in a weekend to give them a weekend opportunity for it, and they weren't willing to do it. And that's where the tours were born. Was an offshoot of that original idea. Was, okay, well, if we can't get 14 to 18 people to travel to us per team, then maybe we need to go to them.
Right.
That's how we started the tours. So I think that if NFPL continues to chase other regions, I think they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hope we get to a point where we're there. I just don't think we're there.
No, it's going to take more money.
Yeah, and it's going to take more money at a club level. It's not going to take league fees, funding a league.
No.
It's going to solve that. You got to support the clubs.
League fees is. I'm a strong believer in how FCS does it because, honestly, like you're asking for a league fee from a team that's amateur already, that's literally making negative money. They're spending money to participate.
Yep.
They're not making any. So how can you go and ask them for a league fee as well? Every single cent that team can make should go into their pocket.
Yeah. Do everything we can to support them. Absolutely. I think that's huge because these teams really are having a hard time supporting themselves in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's like you said.
For example, and I'm not going to say this. Trust me, I'm not saying this in a negative light, but Detroit is, they're selling the ad space on their jersey. They're selling the ad space on their walls. This is real. I mean, I think a lot of people tune into these, a lot of people tune into the FCS and they have certain ideas and expectations of what should be happening, who should be doing what they deserve. And I'm like, you're lucky. And I think that's just me knowing behind the scenes mostly, but those of you who get treated to FCS streams, you're super lucky and super fortunate because this is a group of people who care from the bottom of their heart and no one's getting paid. It's just because we like it.
Egos aside. Yep.
And still even saying that, I still think all the money should go back to the clubs. Anything that comes in should go to those clubs so that they can build up. If the clubs are healthy, then we have something to stream.
Yep. I like it. I agree. We're not going to be there for a long, long time to a point that there's money in this. So we got to accept the reality and support it the best we can. And we're really building for whatever the future generation is. Everybody that's doing it now is building it. Hopefully the future generation sees those greener pastures. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in, especially those of you out in my time zone, 1 a.m.
Oy.
Yes. Gonna have to get an extra cup of coffee in the morning, keep up with those kiddos, but that's okay. It's worth it. That was fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope these watch-alongs you guys find entertaining. And I know I enjoy them, especially when Luke can join in too, which is awesome. And I love seeing so many regulars in the chat, which is really awesome. I hope we get to add to that crowd as time goes on. But yes, Brian, yes, I'm with you. I'm going to be that emoji here in about 30 seconds. I've been fighting them back best I could. But guys, thank you again so much. We will definitely be doing a watch along for the U.S. women's games, so keep an eye out for that over the next week, and then we'll see what semifinals and finals schedule looks like after that. Hopefully those games are in the evening, but historically they've been in the afternoon. So hopefully that's on a weekend and we can watch them. I haven't looked close enough at the schedule to see exactly how that falls, but I think the last round of group games is on May 1st, which is a Thursday. I'm assuming Friday will be rest, and then Saturday, Sunday, semis and final in third place. So keep an eye out for that. We'll update as we go. In the meantime, thank you guys again so much from Futsal Dudes, for me and Luke. And until we see you guys next time, don't forget to play with your soul.